Every day, I wake up and I find myself in unusual thoughts, unusual thinking patterns. And I'm not quite sure why I think the things that I think, the way that I view things that I do. But what I do know is I'm not like everybody else. I'm somehow extremely different. And that's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to have thoughts that are not the same as everybody else. It doesn't make you crazy. It doesn't make you strange. It makes you you. Because whether you know it or not, some people just don't know how to talk about those thoughts. But I believe that you are different. I believe that you have a different purpose and a different level of strength. If you are thinking of harming yourself or harming somebody else, please don't do it. Please reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. You are not the only one thinking the things that you are thinking. Okay? You ain't the first one to ever have the thought. So before you make a decision that someone else has to live with, make a decision that you can live with and that we can live with. And if for some reason you don't want to reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, then feel free to reach out to me on any of my social media feeds with a simple message in the title that reads, "We need to talk," and I will make myself available to you. So before you decide to make that decision, before you go out that door, just stop, take a breath, and talk to someone. Pride Nation, good grief. Okay, every single time that I think that I'm going to come in and talk Lions, something else happened that draws my attention. Now, in case you did not hear, which I find it very hard to believe that you did not hear, the Cleveland Browns have a new quarterback. But before we get into that, let me introduce my co-host in the building, my main man, Mr. Lions Rumble 81. Man, what up, dude?
What up, though, man? TGIF.
Listen,
Man.
I'm so excited for today. I got some things that I gotta just go ahead and say I was wrong about, or at least I'm gonna say naive too. That's the word I'm gonna use, naive.
There you go.
Let's see who in the building. We got to get to this ASAP. We got my man Noel in the building. He says everything happens for a reason. Look, I know. You can hate me now, McKenzie says the Malik trade is about. Yeah, I know. Rich Bean is in the building. Hatter House, One Funky Lion fan is in the building. Let me get on down here. Looney Tunes is in the building. Bulgaria's in the building. Ghost Gunner is in the building. That Fan Man is in the building. Sky Guy's in the building. We got Marcus Williams in the building. Brad Bogner? I'm probably Bogner. Okay. Again, y'all know I suck with names. My apologies. Super Saiyan Lion is in the building. Buffed Up is in the building. James Harrington is in the building. Michael Mike is in the building. Detroit Lions 7414 is in the building. Tactical Puma is in the building. He says, I'm gonna block anyone who brings up. We're gonna talk about a lot of different things. Trust me. My social media feeds were getting killed today. Let me see. Free 313 is in the building. Let me see. Forbidden Knowledge, Joey 2 times. Juan W, John Bradshaw, Ben Diesel, Dr. Detroit is in the building. Motown Football is in the building. All right, I caught up, bro. Let's talk about this. Now, I'm going to start this off by prefacing this very clear. I said that I was more than willing to trade for one Deshaun Watson. I was so willing to do it that I was willing to give up that second overall pick, the first pick in next year's draft, whether it be ours or the Rams, plus an additional pick, and I'll give them Jared Goff. And I figured that the value of that second round pick would be enough to get it done. Oh, no. See, when you want somebody like Deshaun Watson, you got to do things a little bit different. For example, you have to look at things like, say, I don't know, they really wanted those 3 first. Now, they have not immediately released what the Browns gave up. But if you did not hear, Deshaun Watson was traded to the Cleveland Browns. And upon him going there, he now has a new 5-year, fully guaranteed, allegedly, $230 million deal.
Incredible.
Now, don't get me wrong. I wanted Deshaun Watson, but I didn't know he wanted money like that. Okay? I didn't know he wanted that life. I didn't know that. And it got me to thinking, if we picked the wrong quarterback, oh my God.
Wow. Congrats.
What are your thoughts on Deshaun Watson getting traded to the Browns?
Congratulations, man. That team just became a favorite for playoff, and that's pending whether or not he gets suspended, and but or how long he gets suspended for. But man, you gotta love it, man.
Wait. What do you mean suspended? What are you
gotta
talking about?
love it. Just barring whatever BS the league wants to throw at him or whatever.
Wait a minute. Go back.
Yeah.
Are they talking about suspending him?
They're talking about something. They ain't gonna let him go with. He's
how
got
in
to
the
have
hell
an asterisk.
I'm saying, but how can you suspend him? There was no charge. He wasn't indicted.
I know, but the NFL ain't gonna let him slide like that, man. He had the NFL, he had the league by their balls. They're not gonna let him just, let's just be honest, man. He's something's gonna go down where he's gonna have to give up some. But it was reported that his $1 million would be the only thing that would be that they don't that's the only thing he's gonna get, tagged with, that $1 million that he's gonna get paid this year. So
now, okay. No, wait a minute. All right, we'll get to that in a minute. I just think that's ridiculous. You can't suspend
come on,
the
Luke.
guy.
They're gonna have an asterisk by him.
You can't suspend a guy. There's no way in hell. They suspended Big Ben. Big Ben got indicted though, didn't he?
Big Ben got.
Didn't he get indicted? I thought he got indicted. I thought he actually had to go to. Yeah, I thought he had to go to court and everything, right? Maybe I'm tripping, but whatever. First of all, people, if I would have knew that it was going to take that kind of money to get him, I'm good. I like Deshaun Watson. I'm just good on that kind of money. I am. I am just 100% shocked at this. And at one point, I thought I read that he was the highest paid player, but I think it was corrected by you that said that it was the highest amount of fully guaranteed money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because at first I was thinking to myself, ain't nobody having a worse week than Aaron Rodgers, right? Like, this is like what I'm thinking. I even posted this on Twitter. I posted this in the chat too for the channel, where nobody's having a worse week, for Aaron Rodgers to go from saying I want to be the highest paid player to in a matter of hours no longer being the highest paid player, but I guess I read it wrong, and then to the fact that you lost your best receiver, you lost most of your defense, and probably your damn pride in your decision. This is nuts. Like, I feel like when all that went down, the first thing that happened was like my man Aaron Rodgers, my man Aaron Rodgers looked up and like the same as like everybody else in the league, he looked up and was like, "The fuck? He got how much fully guaranteed? Yeah. Oh my god!" And I'm thinking I'm giving out discounts. What the hell? Like, there's no way that Aaron Rodgers just walked away without this look on his face. Like, you paid him how much? You just see this hit I just fucking took? Like, I feel like it's just all bad, bro. Like, I feel like it's all bad. And I feel like he was like, I'm the MVP. And they swiftly responded with like, so you're making vacation plans? Right. Because we know that you are not about to do much of anything. But okay. Okay. This is crazy to me. But it changes so many things, and that's what I want to talk about. It changes so many things.
Absolutely,
There
man.
was a message. It says, "Hey, Luke, just dropping in to catch up on the news." Oh, you real funny. You real funny, Frank. Real good. I told you this is team mustard over here. Give me some relish in this mug. I'll put barbecue sauce on that hot dog. Stop playing. All right. Hey Luke, I had a hernia surgery. Went well. Woke up to see you were live. Wow. Well, first of all, get well. Yes, the family is doing good, but you get well. That I heard that surgery is very what's the word I'm looking for? Depending on where you had it at, it's sore. It sucks. But glad that you woke up and I can give you some entertainment, man. So
Yeah,
shout
man.
out to you, sir.
Thanks for joining us, man.
All right.
Wow.
Listen, I saw this comment earlier, okay? And it says, I'm blocking anybody who said that the Lions should trade for Baker Mayfield. I second that. I can't take it. I can't. I can't. Luke, Deshaun Watson's gone. We might be able to get Baker Mayfield for cheap. Really?
We don't want Baker.
Really? That's
we don't
your
want to
answer?
regress.
That's your answer.
We're not regressing. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm not going to regress.
Rumble. Why? Make it make sense. Why do fans want this guy? Why do fans want everybody who gets released? Why?
Man, I think the fan base, we're not patient. They're just trying to just let's go get him. Like, he's a huge name, but the guy's a head case in my opinion. I don't think we want him here. I don't think he's good for the locker room. We saw what he did with OBJ and that Cleveland Browns team, as far as, just the antics on social media. We don't want that in the D, man. They can keep that over at Cleveland, man. We don't want that in the D.
And you know what's funny? I don't even blame a lot of it on. I just don't want him here. You have a guy here that you need to let play out the process. That's just 100%. If you go out and you get a Baker Mayfield on the last year of his deal, you're gonna have to re-up at the end of the season on him. Why you want to do this? At least you know you got Jared Goff for at least another year. I don't understand why you would do this.
And Goff restructured his deal. He wants to be here as well. This is his training day. And damn it, we're Denzel Washington. We're Alonzo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we might be eating the Hawks, man. We can't be. Denzel didn't make it at the end. Newsflash, spoiler alert.
But this is a different script right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is his training day right here. This is going to determine a lot. If he balls out this year, now that they've given him weapons, you know what I mean? They've given him a base group of guys as far as weapons, and he's got his coordinator. He's got these people that are 100% invested in him. We're gonna see, man. I think we're gonna surprise a lot of people with the schedule this year. We still have the draft, and we still have so much to look forward to, man. So I can't be anything but optimistic about this year.
I find myself whenever somebody get released, I just wait. I put a clock on and I watch it, and I see how long it's gonna take for somebody to be like, we should go after that person. Like, if they release the Hamburglar, we're going after that person. It's some fan gonna want it. But to me, there's.
I'm cool with Baker.
I know y'all want a quarterback bad, but y'all gotta stop with this. Y'all have to. You have to stop with this, because to me, this ain't it. You can see the Browns can pull that deal off because they still got a ton of talent over there.
Yes, sir. Amari Cooper.
And the guy who orchestrated that is here trying to build us something. You just got to be patient. Okay? Go ahead.
I agree. No, I'm just wanted to say that, he had to purge this team of all those gaudy ass contracts, all that bullshit that we were putting out on the field, all the turmoil that that Martha put up, and Sheila, bless her heart, she is kind of trending upward, and you hear it from the players, man. Like, I just watched Charles Harris's press conference earlier, man, and he was kind of reiterating the same thing that DJ Shark was saying, this culture here is something different. I've never experienced this before. And I had other offers on the table, and I decided to stay here. This felt right. this feels like the best place for me to be. So once you start hearing that from multiple players, it's not forced. These are true genuine things that players are saying about this team. So my hat goes off to them for flipping that switch as quickly as they did, because even with 3 wins, man, now players are starting to see and starting to buy into and actually seeing with their own eyes and their heart and their guts that this thing is right, that this ship's going to be right. So so I applaud it, man. I applaud it.
Now, on top of that, the other news was that, which really got overshadowed with Deshaun Watson going to the Browns, which was Juju Smith-Schuster, another receiver is off the board, going to Kansas City. So that's another one of the ones that jumped out, but that's cool.
That's all right. We saw that happening. Either that or the damn Rams. We saw him going to one of those teams. We spoke on it yesterday. That these certain veteran players are getting that itch to go somewhere where they can win. They don't want to rebuild process. They don't want to go through that. They don't want to endure that. Especially in Pittsburgh with Juju. I think he was smart for exiting the way he did.
Now, he said Browns are going to suck donkey.
Oh man!
Listen. I'm telling you right now, I'm so invested in doing this right. After seeing what I've been seeing with these quarterback contracts, the people getting traded and moved around, I hate to say this, but there's no way we can take a quarterback this year.
No.
That's done. That's done, because this is not how it works. Okay, whoever your favorite quarterback is, go over to the QB school and check them out. You're gonna see some real information that may change your mind. And I'm telling you right now, we can't do it. We can't.
And for sure, we don't want no damn head cases here, man. We know quarterbacks is that they're that crazy group of guys who mentally have to be like sharp all the time, both with the media and just with their teammates and coaching staff and all that. And they're typically the voice of that team. So, Baker went with him recently with his whole thing with Cleveland. That didn't sit well with me as far as a quarterback, because, you're coming here and our coaches and the staff have already rebuilt the culture, and you're going to come here and just because you're not winning a certain amount of games or, plays aren't going right for you, you're going to start with that BS. We don't want that here.
Not to mention, man, like, the more I look at it, the more proud of the approach that the Lions are taking to free agency. I'm getting more happy about it, because we're not doing something crazy. Now, I saw a question in here that's from Ben Diesel that said, "Would you give up a 5th and a 7th for Woods?" Are you talking about Rod Woods?
Rod Wood.
The Robert Woods from the no.
I would give up a compensatory pick or a couple of them, a couple of those late ones.
Why? Listen, why? We get ready to go into the draft. Why we can't just find a receiver there?
We could very well find a draft. We could very well draft a receiver. Like let's say, for instance, we drafted the kid out of Alabama.
Okay.
Let's say we draft him. We know he's not going to be quite ready. We get Woods on a deal, 1 year, one of those picks. I mean, I'm all for it. If we know that Alabama wide receiver is our guy, we can bring in Woods. He's a veteran. We need another veteran as far as besides Randall L. We got a veteran out there who's played and has won, and who can actually maybe even teach these young guys some things. So I would be okay with one of those those late draft picks.
But look, let's be honest. Receivers come a dime a dozen. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Receivers come a dime a dozen. The Packers are going to replace Devontae Adams. They are not going to be Devontae Adams, but we don't know what they're going to be. If the Packers mess around and go out and get Treylon Burks and then decide to add on, Drake London or whatever they decide to do, they'll have options, right? But I'm just saying, I don't get it. Shout out to my man Adam in the building from Woodward Sports Network. He says, Luke, grinding, babe. I'm trying to.
Man, Adam was grinding too, man.
Adam, they've been over there. They've been in ref form.
He was on too. He was on he was on that, I believe, the bottom line earlier too, man. And
I know
the Morning Wood.
I'm
Man,
gonna have to get
Adam.
Adam back on here, man. I'm gonna have to get him back on here because I gotta
Absolutely.
try to help see if I can nudge him to understand the need for our safety over here.
Yeah,
Probably won't work, but
I want in on that one.
Yeah, it probably won't work, but it's worth a shot. No, I just feel like at the end of the day, right? Like at the end of the day, I feel like, shout out to you, sir. At the end of the day, I feel like this team is in a position right now to do something that will set them up foundationally for years. And if they go out and start making picks randomly because they feel like this and they feel like that, don't tell me about what you feel. Richard Sherman said it best. 90% of it comes from tape. What does the tape show you? I don't want to know what you feel. I don't.
Right.
I want to know what you know. What does the tape show?
Okay, so we were talking about Woods. We forget he also played with Goff over there. So there's some familiar faces. I mean, if he's not that much, why not? What do we gain a lot by having him here in a 1-year deal. We have more than enough picks this year. I'm not saying we use all those picks. What happens if we don't use all those picks? I mean, man, that would be interesting if we can kind of slide one of those picks and bring in somebody like that. Yeah, I get it. The injuries, I get it. Yep, wide receivers come a dime a dozen. I get all that, but it's something about having a veteran in a key position as wide receiver, as a defensive line veteran, as an O-line veteran. It's something about having those veterans, especially during a rebuild, that is going to both bolster your confidence and allow the coaches to quickly get it going. But yeah, man, I am all for it. If we can get something, if it makes sense, I'm all for it.
Now, the other news today that broke is that all hands were on deck at the Michigan Pro Day. The first news that jumped out, which was David Jobu, whatever the hell his name is, the guy that played opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. All right, I'm not gonna keep playing with these names. What happened? What happened to the Smiths and the Williams? Damn it. Anyway,
Andersons.
Anyway, but really, he gets hurt, and he needed to get helped off the field by coaches. What are your thoughts on the player getting hurt at his pro day? What are your thoughts on it?
Man, we just go back to it goes back to the debate we've been having for years, man. College players need to get somewhat compensated. Yeah, okay, they get a free ride, they get a free scholarship, but these guys are putting not only their bodies on the line, but their mental as well. It breaks my heart that he was one of those guys that were sought after, that were actually being looked at, and for him to go down with an injury as such on the biggest day of his football playing career, in my eyes, my heart goes out to him. I know he worked so hard for this, and he probably, let's be honest, man, he's probably got family that were kind of dependent on him. These young athletes have a lot on their shoulders, and I hope he comes back healthy, and I hope this injury, doesn't not allow him to come back and play and perform. So
now, when I first heard the news that he got hurt, my first initial response was, "This is great news for the Lions." Yeah. I think it sucks.
As it sounds,
it sucks for him, right? Like you don't. I'm not celebrating that he got hurt, but I'm just saying, if he was a first round pick, who many people said was still kind of raw, what does he fall to now?
Right.
What is the injury, and how bad is it, and what does he fall to?
Wow. That's a great point.
If he slides down to the 5th, I'm happy. I'll be happy to take him.
Yeah,
he can be raw, untapped talent, and everything, and I'm good with that. Right. I'm 100% good with it. Now, Ben Deaton says, if we could get a first for Goff right now, would you take it? Tell me who giving me the first.
Yeah, who's giving us the first for Goff?
Yeah,
I think
right.
we've tried that already.
I'm just saying, who's the person giving us the first? Because when you do that, you need to also understand what comes with that.
Right.
Okay. So who's the person giving us the first?
Man.
Now the other thing was that apparently my social media feed got blew up. Was like, did you hear the Lions? Did you hear about the Lions? And I'm like, yeah, I heard. you know what it was. Aaron Glenn and the Lions talked to Aiden Hutchinson at the pro day, and everybody lost their stuff.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's the job. You're supposed to talk to every single person as a prospect. You're picking number 2. And if you're picking number 2, it probably behooves you to talk to him. Then somebody says, well, it's Aaron Glenn though, Luke. Aaron Glenn talked to him. I said, well, I talked to Barry Sanders. I don't think I got any fucking faster. What's the point? I'm just, it's part of the job, right?
Yeah, I agree.
You interview everybody,
of course.
What do you think
would
this
it
is
not
news?
make? Right. What sense would it not make? He's a hometown kid. He's in the same state that your football team is in. Like, that would be asinine not to take that ride or flight up to there and go check him out. That'd be dumb. Like, I don't get it.
I mean, could you imagine though? Like, just check this out, right? Check this out. Could you imagine if you are sitting up there, and let's say you the Dallas Cowboys, right? And let's say the next Joe Montana is at Texas, and because you don't have a need to, you're just not gonna go up there and check them out. They right next door.
right.
Pay them in gasoline. That's a good man. Hell yeah, paying them in gasoline is the best deal right now. Holy smokes, man! If only people knew. I'm just saying though.
10 barrels.
I mean, right? I'm just saying, but let's be honest. I just think I don't care. He can talk to him. The thing that I realized was, if you go back to last year, and I always try my best to pay attention to patterns of people. Look at who we drafted. It was more people we didn't talk to. You know, like we had glance conversations with, but we didn't really talk to. You know what I'm saying? Where were the reports that we talked to Levi Onwuzurike? I'll wait.
Yeah.
Where were the reports that about Aleem McNeil?
Yep.
Or Derek Barnes? Or Amon-Ra St. Brown? Now, there was reports that they went to the pro day for, Sewell and had conversations with Sewell. But really, it's more about who they didn't talk to that I'm focused on. Tell me the people that they didn't have a conversation with. Because when he go in there, he's just trying to pick their brain so he can figure out, like, hey, is he smart or not? And that's what you should do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you want to see how they perform on the big stage. Let's be honest. How many times have we've been to a game and they're like, oh, there's scouts out there and these people came to see you or whatever, and it's like you want to see how they react. You want to see what are they gonna fold under pressure? Are they gonna And I do feel bad for Ojabo because I believe that he was kind of one of those players, like you said. He was kind of in the shadows. Everybody was talking about Hutchinson, and this guy was kind of like, well, wait a minute, I was on the team too,
Right.
And I don't feel like he was talked about as much. And I believe, that those are the players that we're seeking. Those are the guys that we're looking for, because he still has a great character as well, and he's a ball player. So I just hope if he does fall, I hope Brad Holmes is if we don't get Hutch, I hope that's one of the guys that we're looking at.
Now, Duggar says, Luke, how you feel about Trayvon Walker at 2? I don't feel anything about it. In fact, I think that, like, to me, tell me why he should be the second overall pick. Right? What was his best game? What was his best games? Why should he be the second overall pick? How in the hell did he just magically leapfrog other people? How? He don't leapfrog Aiden Hutchinson. He don't leap to be the second overall pick. Come on. What does tape tell me? What does the tape tell you? What did you see in him?
He had a great 40 time.
I heard about the great 40, but what does the tape say? 40. So yeah, I don't think taking him at 2 Makes sense. Brandon Anderson says he talked to Dex as well. Yeah, he's a freaking slot corner. He is. Dex Hill is a slot corner.
We should talk to all those Michigan guys.
Right.
Like, those are our hometown kids. You know, we should. Like, that's normal. We should. We should be up there.
So wait. So Ben Diesel is saying we can trade Jared Goff for a future first. No, I'm not taking that deal. You're not giving me a future
first.
Yeah, I'm not taking that deal.
Future is in, like, no.
Let's say they gave us a future first next year, right? And they like give us Jared Goff, and I'm like, all right, here you go. Here go Jared Goff. We restructured this deal, so we eating some cap on that anyway. That's one. But then two, on top of that,
correct.
That's what I'm saying. But it's a future first, right? Yeah. So that means that you get the future first. You turn around and you take Malik Willis to do what? His own head coach. His own head coach said you probably don't want to start him right away. He needs time.
See, they didn't hear that part.
He don't know what he know. He don't know what he know.
They didn't hear that part. His own head coach said that. It's still a little rough around the edges. You might want to sit him a year or two. Yeah, we don't want that.
We don't have time for it.
No.
We're not fortitude that right to do something like that. So to me, we need to be a little bit more strategic. So no for the future first for me. What's going on, my man William? You free? You can get up in here for a minute. Also, I'm getting ready to drop in the chat our connection so y'all can join me. And if you want to have some conversation and tell me how nuts I am, feel free to do so. Maybe you just don't like my face no more. You're tired of seeing the thumbnail and you just don't like it no more. That's cool. I'm here for it. But let's be honest. We really gonna do this? Mm-hmm. We're really gonna do it. But let's have fun. As long as you do it respectfully, I don't care. Have fun. Tell me I'm crazy. I have fun with you too. I am going to make sure you support your answer though. So if you come in here and you say something nuts like we need to draft such and such, all I'm saying is please explain to me why. Make me a believer. All right. Again, it is pinned to the screen. All right, so that, like I said, you just need some kind of device that can let you come in and talk, and we have the conversation. Now, let me ask you this too, because we talking about the visits and stuff like this, and to me, this is an easy visit to go to because it's right next door, right? But let's be honest though, what visits do you hope and pray that they do go to, like over the next couple?
You already know where I'm going.
You want Notre Dame?
Notre Dame. I'm going Notre Dame.
See, I don't even want Notre Dame.
I want to see one of them, if not both of them, at Notre Dame. Why not? Why not see Aaron Glenn and Aubrey Pleasant out there?
You know who I want?
I'll be licking my chops. Who do you want, Luke?
The school that I want them to go to is Stanford.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because I really want to. If they go to Stanford, that lets me know that they got that eye on that D tackle.
Okay.
So that's where it gets interesting at. We got some people jumping in with us, brother. Let's go ahead and go with the first person who came in. Another part of the field review who's always coming with stats, statistics, and telling me how fucking crazy I am. My man, William Birch. What up, dude?
William.
What up, guys? I'm the Malik Willis hype conductor.
Okay. God, we cannot do this.
Okay. Getting Willis with it.
Now, listen, my man Adams got a question. He says, in order, what are your priorities to address with these picks? At number 2, safety. At number 32, I prefer a linebacker, particularly Brandon Smith. At number 34, if people just feel a need to do so, then I guess they can take a receiver. But for me, I would take another linebacker. And then at 66, I would take the receiver. So keep in mind, at 34, that linebacker can be your outside pass rusher. But to me, if you get Brandon Smith, you kind of help that problem in my opinion. Brandon Smith has that range for me, so I would love to have him and get it popping. Will, you got time to stay here and hang with me, sir?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to bring in the other guests and rotate them in and out as they come. First up is my man, Sky Guy, who popped up in here first. What up, though, Sky Guy?
What up, though?
What's going on, man? What you got for the people?
Okay, I've come in here today. I want to make a prediction.
Oh shit!
And this is a prediction that is for not the second overall pick.
Okay.
This is actually for pick 34. And all this also assumes that this player is still there. And y'all can make as much fun of me for this as you want. But I believe with the 34th pick, we will be selecting Boy Mafe.
Now, if we do that, it makes sense because he's somebody who can play multiple things, and I get it.
That's not too crazy.
That's
not too crazy.
So because I posted, I also agree with you there. I think there's a lot of teams that could select him above us, which scare me.
Now,
first of all, if he does land there.
Oh, my man, my man's Mills done dipped on me. Come on, Mills, come on back in here. Now, I want you all to say, look, y'all heard the question that he posed. He hit me with this quickly. I love you, Luke, but you're batshit crazy.
I know, Adam was off the chain, man.
All I'm saying is this: you got to understand. I'm simply looking for 5 starters up front.
Day one.
And to me, I do have certain players that I want. However, I'm looking for 5 starters who can give me something I can work with. The problem with taking a DN at 2 is who spot he taking? Whose spot is he taking? Right? And then if you're telling me he's taking if you're telling me he's taking Charles Harris' spot, well, Charles Harris is coming up from the 2-point stance. Right? And at that point, I don't know if I'm feeling good about taking a DN there. And if the DN question becomes take safety, is the safety I'm taking at 32 going to be better than the safety I can get at 2? Because once he's gone, and he will be gone, I guarantee you he won't make it past 10. He will be gone. If that happens, now what? And then the receiver. If you say receiver line, but I can't kill you on that. Like I said, I know people want the receiver there. If you feel the receiver is needed, cool. But for me, I'm trying to get all defense. I want defense. I need starters. I need people who can come in and have immediate impact. I need people who can play. I don't care about people falling down somebody's fictitious board. He's going up and down boards. I don't care. When I watch the film on Brandon Smith, the boy's a stud. He's a stud. In fact, he was so stud that had he been able to come out the same year as Parsons, he would have been a first-round pick.
Oof.
So that's all I'm pointing out. But what else you got for me, Sky Guy?
Actually, to touch on the wide receiver thing, I'm okay with taking a wide receiver at 32 or 34. I don't think they're there. I don't think Burks, London definitely won't be there. I don't think Burks, Olave, any of those guys are there at 32. So,
yeah, but I think when you start to look at receivers, it's either going to come down to people like the guy from Penn State. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Dotson. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's going to go down to people like him, Watson, Pinkins. What's the other guy that's from Purdue? David. Bell. And at that point, we pulling hairs.
How much better are they than like the next group of receivers? That's my question.
And that's my issue. I ain't got time to play with that. I need 5 starters. If you're not coming in here taking somebody's spot and not getting a starting spot on this team, I don't really want you here. This is why I don't want no quarterback. There's no reason for me to have a quarterback in the first place, right?
Yeah, right. I think whoever we pick at number 2, they have to have versatility. We need that's what we need right now. So let's say it's Hutch. If he can't play up and down that line, because believe it or not, that's what teams are doing now. They're playing those certain pieces up and down the line. They're playing mismatches. Look what they did with Aaron Donald out in the Rams. They moved him up and down that line. I want somebody like that who can play up and down that line.
They try to figure out where they'll get
the mismatches. So if the mismatch is at nose tackle or the mismatch is at guard, that right guard, then damn it, you're gonna play on that side of the field.
Yeah, I mean they did that in the Super Bowl and got success out of Donald.
Like it's no different than what the offense does. Like Super Bowl, they were getting Cooper Kupp on linebackers.
Yes.
Who's gonna win that? No shit, it's Cooper Kupp.
no.
Like he's gonna win that every time. And
right.
He was beating two or three of them.
The defensive coordinator I work with, he talks to NFL guys, and he's just like, he's almost done with like just lining up in the base package.
Right.
Listen,
In rushing situations.
Listen, I'm finna get yelled at,
three
y'all.
best people all on one side,
Yep.
and have them be on one-on-one, because we're better than that. They can't stop us.
Will, Rumble, Sky, I'm about to get yelled at. I can see the look of despair on this man's face, the disgust, the agony. I'm talking about one Mr. Adam from Woodward Sports Network. Oh shit,
Adam,
What up?
what's happening, Captain?
All right, look.
I don't know.
mean,
I'm
look,
gonna
he
kill
here.
you one of these days, man.
He's here. He here.
What up, Happy
Look,
Camper?
Adam, walk with me for a minute. Just walk with me for a minute.
All right.
The goal is to get players who can contribute to the team, right?
Sure.
Right? Okay. All I'm saying is this. Where do the Lions have the luxury to take a player that's not taking nobody's spot when you have holes to fill serious holes? And Brad Holmes said he wants more help in the perimeter part of the defense. That's referring to safeties, corners, and you know he ain't taking no corner at 2. He definitely ain't going to do that. So now you go to the position of safety. You need it bad. We've been needing safety since like forever, everland, right? Like foreverland. And all I'm saying is this. If we go all defense the first 4 picks and take a receiver way down the road, which is going to be a ton of them, you know I'm not lying. It's a ton of receivers. What's wrong with that?
Everything.
Fuck, I knew he's coming. Let's go.
All right. So
Go ahead.
I'm going to start with the safety position.
All right.
In the history of the NFL, in terms of if you go by approximate value rating, which is basically your value to your football team, there's no safety that's ever led the NFL in the entirety of its history. And that includes some of the best players we've ever seen lace up, like Troy Polamalu, like Ed Reed. And that's not the end-all, be-all, but it kind of points towards, well, who is winning that win share? Who is responsible for the teams? And obviously it's quarterback, number 1. But number 2 is actually edge rusher. And then number 3 is actually corners. And it's between edge rushers and corners, actually, where you find that kind of value. Stephon Gilmore, a defensive player of the year, somebody that was immense for that team. And when I look at Kyle Hamilton, if I'm an offensive coordinator, I can work Kyle Hamilton out of a game plan. I can't eliminate a dominant edge rusher. And if I do, I open up a lot of holes in my offense. So when I look at the draft and I look at picks 2, 32, 34, I want to ask you guys, all of you, feel free to answer this question. When you're selecting at 2, you're going to be able to grab any player of your choice outside of obviously who Jacksonville take. Do you find more value in taking, let's say, Thibodeau, Hutchinson, or Trayvon Walker at 2, and then settling for a Jaquan Brisker or a Lewis Sine or a Daxton Hill at 32, instead of going Kyle Hamilton at 2, and then waiting another 28 picks, 29 picks, before you even know what defensive ends are going to be on the board? That to me is the biggest concern. Going safety at number 2, you have zero control of who you can get. And if you take an edge rusher, you address an immediate need. The team has been bottom of the league for the last 6 years in terms of pass rush. Guys, if you want to eliminate another good quarterback, you get after him.
Okay,
I think. Oh, wait, no, I'm going first on this one, guys. I'm going now, Adam. To be fair, we did have Romeo Core out last year, right? So we know that he was out, and they took him out of position, which I hated that they did that and was dropping him in the coverage. They quickly realized that was a mistake and put his hand back in the dirt, and he proceeded to pick up where he left off, right? And you brought back Charles Harris, right? Not saying Charles Harris is like this amazing game changer or like he's going to make this, but let's just stay with the logic you point out. You asked the question of what I feel more comfortable with, and it is the safety. Because for me, I got way more options at that pass rusher because it's not really a need. Let's go back to the Detroit Lions. I want to say it was 2011 when they had Ndamukong Suh, Nick Fairley, Cliff Averill, and Kyle Vander Bosch. And they can get after people all the time. We were still getting dotted up deep down the field because our safeties were not adequate in the way that they should be. But you spoke of the metrics that show the value to the team. Those guys that you name, including the Ed Reeds and the Troy Palomalus, when they were out of games, there was a significant, serious difference in how teams attacked them because there was no fear. There was no reason for the quarterback to hold on to the ball. There was no reason for the quarterback to not throw the ball down there because who's going to be a threat? Nobody. All I'm saying is our biggest need for almost damn near 5 years has been safety. And I'm not taking the second best option when I got a guy
give me a safety
cover.
in the NFL right now that is so valuable you would put them on the Detroit Lions tomorrow and give away that number 2 overall pick.
A safety in the league right now that I would be willing to number 2 pick up for right now. Let's see. I would do Micah Fitzpatrick. I would do.
No, you wouldn't. You would.
I really
get TJ
would.
Watt. You would go get TJ Watt for that number 2 overall pick. And
What's
more detrimental for an offense? What's more detrimental for an offense? An interception down the field or sacking the quarterback? Getting sacked is way more harmful for an offense than me throwing the ball 25, 30 yards downfield and it getting intercepted in a league where we throw the ball more and more every single year. Interceptions are just becoming part of the game. What made Ed Reed so special, what made all these guys so special is they played in an era where the league was a bit more balanced. And, God rest his soul, Sean Taylor, he came into the league. It's not that he was a ball hawk, but my God, he was everywhere. He was blowing up the plays. It didn't matter what kind of play it was. We're in a different league. Go ask Antoine Winfield what it's like to guard Cooper Kupp. Go ask Minka Fitzpatrick what it's like to guard Julio Jones or anybody for that matter. You just have such a disadvantage.
But your idea and view is you're trying to equate those safeties and those other people's thing as being individually based when that this is a team sport. So TJ Watts gets off because there is a Cameron Hayward over the other side, and there's other players that are able to be a part of the process. We know that to be the case. And when we talk about these other safeties in the game that you're talking about being able to go and get, it's easy to say TJ Watts, but what happens when TJ Watts gets neutralized? And it happens the same way when JJ Watts got neutralized, the same way it happens when Sue
everybody in the NFL is capable of being game planned for that. That's not really the point I'm trying to make. Where I'm going with it is, if all I have to worry about is your safety, that's so much easier for me to get out of the game. And we have to understand that Kyle Hamilton's not a perfect prospect either. He can't guard the slot. And he's struggling. Wait.
Why do I want him to guard the slot, though?
You don't want him to guard the slot, but that's how I can game plan him out of this game. If I'm an offensive coordinator, okay, fine. I know you guys are playing too high safety. No problem. I'm going underneath, and I'm going to slowly kill you. And Kyle Hamilton and Tracy Walker are no factor.
Yeah, but that's
the only time you have to play matchups. What's more consistent? Me matching up a safety every game against an opposing team's offense, or me just sending my bull rush edge rusher every single game? The edge rusher is the more consistent play. The edge rusher is more valuable. And again, you told me that you were more confident. You told me you were more confident in taking Hamilton at 2 and then waiting to see what was available at 32. And for me, that's suicide.
No. I want Hamilton at 2, and at 32, I want a linebacker.
Yeah, you want a linebacker, but you still haven't addressed the edge rusher. And the edge rusher is more important than both the safety and the linebacker.
Because you know why? When you look at these edge rushers, every single one of them, when you look at these edge rushers, they're not getting it done without the safety play. The Buccaneers had.
It's actually the opposite. The
Buccaneers had Vita Vea, Sue, Jason Pierre-Paul, and they had Barrett. And that defensive front was getting after people. And it wasn't until they went out and added Antoine Winfield to really help buckle down that safety position that helped make a difference. They also added in that linebacker and White. So you start to look at them, put the pieces together. But the problem is this: if you're taking an Aiden Hutchinson, right, and you're going to bring him in, let's say he's the guy that's there. If you're taking Aiden Hutchinson, what are you going to get from Aiden Hutchinson that you're not going to get from anybody on the team already? That's a question for
Luke.
you.
I don't mean to interrupt. Give me 1 second. My phone's dying. I'm gonna hop back on my laptop. Just give me a few minutes.
All right, cool. Will, you want to respond to him while he gets stuff together? I'm gonna take him out and he can come back. You want to respond to him because I think it's an important thing.
I think there's a mischaracterization of, we'll just force him to play too high all game, and the safeties won't be a thing because we're gonna dink and dunk. It's too high. You have 5 underneath defenders. It's suicide to dink and dunk. That's not how that works.
And
you
even
know,
so
to me, that shows me he don't really understand how you cut a secondary player out of the game.
Yeah, and even if they do play like that, then that's on our defensive coordinator to adjust to that play style, and then that forces Kyle Hamilton and Tracy Walker back into the game.
Yeah,
I agree. All those points are great, but let's not forget what this defense did for Charles Harris. Let's not forget what they did with the player that converted from I can't even think of his name right now. They converted a safety to
Will
corner.
Harris. Yeah.
Will Harris. They converted a safety to corner, which means he's interchangeable at this point. Right. So if again, it's all about the mismatches. Will, you brought it up earlier. Cooper Kupp against the linebacker all day. I'm gonna go there.
Right.
But if I have Kyle Hamilton and I could move him around, and I have Will Harris, I could move him around. He could play safety. If he gets too tired, I could just swap those guys. If they do this right, you could swap those guys. If I do this right, hey, you know what? He's burning Will Harris. Let me stick Kyle on him. Kyle is 6'4". He's a ball hawk. Let me put him on him. Let me find a mismatch out here. So all of these points are valid points. I get where Adam's coming from as far as the line, but there's also players on this team who I think can with these coaches who they can convert to play a position or two on that line. But yeah, man, all these are valid points.
Let me hold on. I want to rotate in two people that have been waiting patiently. First person that's been waiting patiently is Crimson Shadow, who apparently is. He said you killed him. It happens, bro. We gonna have it. But Crimson Shadow, what's going on, sir?
Not too bad. I just bought this new microphone. How's it sounding?
Sounds real good to me.
Thank you.
All right.
Adam, you're gonna make me strangle you. I swear to God. Mother of God. Okay. Here. Let me ask you this question. What would I rather take? A guy that's going to be Trey Flowers Jr. and Aiden Hutchinson, a lazy F, and Kayvon Thibodeau? Look, I've got two choices in this draft. Either you're getting me George Kalafdis or Hamilton. That's it. That's the only ones I can take it to here because the rest in this draft, this top 10 is completely trash here. I'd rather take the guy that I know is going to be the surefire first stringer and some guy, congratulations, let's get Hutch. The guy that couldn't, he beat Ohio State. Oh, yes, Ohio State that's been trash all year. How was he in Georgia? Oh, yeah, you want to see a magic trick? Gone. He took some real and he's gone.
So here's the problem with that.
That's not how players work. AJ Terrell got nailed down by Jamar Chase. Comes into the league, everyone was down on him because of that one bad game. You know what he's now? Basically now pro corner.
Yeah, I love AJ Terrell. When AJ Terrell came out that year.
But I don't buy Hutch. I don't see anything that makes me say he's the number 2 guy. It makes
me feel I don't mind if you're not sold on the edge rushers. I mean, for me, if Hutch is gone off the board, I'm considering Walker over Thibodeau, Trayvon Walker.
Why is Walker getting so much hype because he ran a 4.5?
No, it has nothing to do with his 4.5. I mean, he's just a freak athlete. Reminds me a lot of Zeke Alonso in terms of how raw he is.
And that's my problem. I hated that pick. I hated when we took Ziggy. It was a project. The Lions don't get the right to play Magic Bill. We don't get to sit here and play.
They do when Brad Holmes is their GM because that's the first time in my lifetime they've had a GM that I actually think knows what the hell he's doing.
But who takes a project at 2?
You don't take a project at 2, but what you don't do here. Let me ask all of you a question, and please be as honest as you can be.
Fair. Go ahead.
If Brad Holmes takes Kyle Hamilton, and I'm going to assume whoever they pick is going to be a bust. If he takes Kyle Hamilton and he busts, or he takes, let's say, Kayvon Thibodeau, Walker, Hutchinson, whatever it may be. If he takes an edge at 2, or he takes a safety at 2, which do you think is a bigger black mark on his resume?
And they bust.
If
They're
they bust,
both busts.
if they both bust, so we'll
Thank you.
And
They're
there's no
taking the
winning.
safety is a such a smack in the face.
But why though?
I give two cares about perception. They both busted. They're both bad.
I'll tell you why.
Like,
I'll tell you why.
wasted-
Because
he
one,
wasted-
again, it's like taking a quarterback. When you take a quarterback number 1, number 2 overall, it's not a game that you can just explain correctly. If we all knew the science to hitting on a quarterback, everybody would have one. And that's the same thing with positional value. The edge rusher is more important, and I'm going to keep knocking that point home. It is much more important to a defense than a safety who is the last line of the last line of defense. Who dictates who gets to the quarterback? The edge rushers, the defensive tackles.
Yeah, but hold on. Wait.
Part of that goes with the secondary as well, though. If we got everybody locked up, and to be fair, we do have Aaron Glenn, who is a damn good defensive back in his playing days.
Yeah.
Who converted Will Harris from
Rumble.
From
that's a
safety
great
to corner.
point. But when we say
have,
lock up, we play in the most pass-friendly league where you cannot touch the wide receivers for more than 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. Nobody's playing press coverage as much anymore. The corners are basically out there living and fighting for themselves. It's impossible to guard wide receivers. And let's be real. Hunter Renfrow, is he wowing you with his 40 time, his 3-cone drill? No, he's not. But you know what he has? He has enough speed and enough good route running where he is a complete mismatch in today's NFL. Bring him back 20 years ago, maybe he's not the guy he is right now. But we have a league where I know the cornerback position and the safety position are behind the 8 ball, where I feel I have a fair advantage against a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen, a Justin Herbert, some of the great quarterbacks. I feel I can neutralize them with a dominant pass rush. The Giants won 2 Super Bowls, not because of their corners, not because of their safeties, because of Michael Strahan. And I forget the dude that blew off his fingers, Jason Pierre-Paul. And O.C. Humanura, that was the other one.
Dude, isn't
that
it
mean?
bad?
I'm sorry.
Listen, no,
But they had a decent secondary as well.
It's
be
really
fair.
bad though.
Yeah, no, but it's elite pass rush over an elite secondary. One is much more important than the other, and I think that's kind of the point I'm trying to drive home.
I understand.
It's much more
understand
important.
where you're coming from.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like-
But quarterbacks are throwing 60 times now. Back then, they were throwing 30 times a game. They were still running the ball as much, but now they're throwing 50, 60 times a game. Let's be fair. Like, how many times does Stafford hand the ball off in the Super Bowl compared to how many times he threw the ball?
Okay, so I'll say when Western went up against Pitt, we had Bryson Gardner, our All-MAC last during the COVID year. All-MAC safety, fantastic at his position. Got hurt in the first quarter. We had to put in the freshman. Love him to death. He's a good athlete. He's a smart kid. Against Pittsburgh, number 3, Addison, we sincerely almost lost the game because of that mismatch. If Bryson Gardner was in, we would not have gotten smoked nearly as much. They put up 41 points. It would have probably reduced the score by 10, 14.
You brought up earlier that, back then in those Super Bowls with the Giants and the Patriots, for example, those 2 teams, they weren't throwing as much fair. But in those Super Bowls, Tom Brady dropped back and threw 48 times and 41 times. And you know why they lost those games? Because Tom Brady only scored 14 points and I believe 17 points in the second Super Bowl because he was too busy falling on his ass. And the narrative at the time was, if you get pressure on Tom Brady, you can beat him. And then people kind of to realize, actually, if you just get pressure on any quarterback, it makes it much more difficult for them.
Yeah, but
that's why Eli beat him. They got pressure on him, and he made that miraculous throw. I don't know how he made that. I could have swore. Now,
I could be wrong about this. I could have swore that, especially the one where they went undefeated. The one where they went defeated. If I'm not mistaken, it wasn't like Tom Brady was getting beat up like he was Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times. He took a beating, pressured, hit, battered. Tom Brady wasn't going through that like that. It wasn't that level of harassment. I'm just making the point of saying this: if the Lions have an opportunity to do something,
Tom Brady was sacked 5 times in that Super Bowl and pressured over 15 times.
But it wasn't. Well, I'll put it this way: the times that he was sacked, 3 of them I gave to him. 3 of them I gave to him, where he had people open and he held it because the safety ran over there. So I'll give 3 of them to him. However, when I go back and I look at this team, I'm saying to myself, I want to complete groups and I want to complete things. Our only safeties signed right now are
Tracy Walker.
Brady Breeze.
Who?
Tracy Walker, and Will Harris.
Brady Breeze.
And now you're talking about going out and get a Brisker, a guy that I like, Adam. You get no disagreement with me. I like Brisker. He's a guy that I really do like. However, Brisker don't have the range as Kyle Hamilton. If Kyle Hamilton busts, I can still move him to linebacker. If Brisker busts, I can't put him at linebacker.
No,
why you can't?
No.
Why not?
Oh my God, no,
Why
no
not?
chance
Tell me
in
why.
hell. Because
Why
now
not?
the conversation becomes we drafted a linebacker at 2. No. I mean,
tell me why. We're talking about if he absolutely busts, why can't he now get a position change?
if
they
he
did the
busts,
same-
that means he's not a good football player. Why the hell would we start with a linebacker?
No, you remember the guy that the Falcons had always messed his damn name up. Some Neal. Canoe Neal. That went to the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas turned him into a linebacker because they said at the safety
But he's not the number 2 overall pick. He's a fat fuck.
It doesn't matter if he's number 2 pick or not.
It does.
No.
It
I'm
does.
telling you
That's
this.
the future of this franchise.
I think what Luke is trying to say.
But the future of the franchise does not lie because it's the number 2 pick. The only thing that people have an issue with is it's the number 2 pick. If we moved to 5 and took Kyle Hamilton, people would be like, good position. That's stupid. Take the best player.
That is stupid. I do agree with you there. It's either you like him or you don't. But again, I want to rephrase this question because I don't think I got it through the first time. If I told you ended up with, let's just assume in a perfect world that Aiden Hutchinson does go number 1 overall. And I told you that you ended up with Kyle Hamilton and Boye Mafe or Ed Benito. Or you ended up with Kayvon Thibodeau and Jaquan Brisker or Lewis Sine. What combination? And I know, Luke, you answered Kyle Hamilton, obviously. I feel like it's pretty clear which one you're getting more value in.
If you go out and you take, say, Thibodeau, I've already seen what happens when you got a Courtney Brown. I've already seen what happens when you have an inconsistent Jadeveon Clowney. I've already seen what happens when you go out and you do it. When you go out and you get people that high, usually there's a clear-cut top player. That's not the case this year. And that's
why we all want to trade back. But just because there isn't a clear top player, I mean, if that's the conversation, then Kyle Hamilton would be going number 1 right now. But the problem is, I think everyone's kind of unsure right now. Everyone kind of got bit in the ass a few years ago with defense. Last year was, quote unquote, the quarterback class, but it ended up being the wide receiver class.
It shows hell did.
It's complicated. Look, every draft is a mystery. I'm not 100% right on everything I fucking say either, but at the end of the day,
but you do admit it though. I remember you was highly pissed about the Sewell pick.
Actually, I was happy about the Sewell pick. What pissed me off was he had the worst preseason I've seen in a lineman in a long time at right tackle. And we were like, fuck it. Let's keep him there. I'm like, no, what the fuck are we doing? Move him to left tackle.
He grew, though.
And by the grace of God, Taylor Decker gets hurt. And the dude comes out game 1 against Nick Bosa, performs pretty well. And by week 8, he had the game of the speed kind of mapped out, figured out. And he went to right tackle. And I got to say, I was wrong. He actually can play right tackle.
Yeah. To be fair, he did take a year off because of COVID. Let's not act like snaps don't matter. The more snaps you get, the NFL we know is the cream of the crop, and let's not get it twisted. To me, Trayvon Walker screams Albert Hainsworth in 4 years. That's what I get from him.
That's how I feel.
That's what I get from him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, I mean, these guys, they can all be busts. To be honest with you, I don't think. Again, I don't have an issue with Brad Holmes missing on this pick. My issue is I'm trying to look at this as fairly as possible and say, what is more important to this Detroit Lions team? If we need a safety so bad, take the kid that you took number 3 overall a few years ago, move his ass to safety because you're kind of deep at corner right now with a bunch of undrafted free agents that have just performed.
Are you talking about Afitu?
No, Okuda.
Listen,
we are not deep at corner. We do not have a top tier.
No, I disagree. No. I think our corners showed up, actually. They've actually, with Auburn Pleasant, he developed them very well.
Yeah, the corners have not been an issue for this team. They couldn't get to the quarterback. They couldn't stop the run at times throughout the year. And it wasn't a talented team, but they were overperforming because Aaron Glenn and Aubrey Pleasant were coaching their minds out.
Adam, I applaud you for saying that, man.
Listen, let me do this. I want to. You got a little bit of time, Adam, because I'm enjoying the conversation. Plus,
I love it.
This is healthy. This is healthy for me. All right. So I want to bring in
I'm
Malik.
cranky in the morning. That's why I'm so calm right now. By the way,
I know, man.
You try waking up at 5 o'clock, finishing prepping for a show, and then going up live at 8. It's fucking.
Let me bring in Malik. Malik is a Michigan fan who is he's team Hutchinson all the way. Malik,
I'll go.
Yeah, what's up, Luke? What's up?
All right, Adam has you. You know, Adam's here. Adam's on your side. Take Hutchinson if he's there. The question is, if Hutchinson ain't there, I guess Adam, you're saying take Thibodeau, right?
Yeah. Well, if Hutchinson isn't available, I'm picking between Walker and Thibodeau. Yeah.
I just don't know how Walker a 4.51 gets people looking different.
Luke, I'm good friends with Russell Brown. That's a guy who scouts for a living. I spend a lot of time with him, and you know what? Maybe I'm biased, but he's really brought me on to Trayvon Walker.
See, I watched Trayvon Walker over and over and over and over, and to me, it's three things that I look for in my edge rushers that I feel like I don't care how athletic you are. Are you technique? Do you have technique that is technically sound? Where's the pass rush moves? Where's the counters? Where's the anchoring on run plays? Are you maintaining outside leverage? Do you understand situations?
But that can be taught, Luke, right? I think it's fair to say that can be taught.
Yeah, but
that goes the same with Kyle Hamilton too. There's certain things can be taught. If there's holes in his games, we have Aaron Glenn, we have Aubrey Pleasant. I'm sure they can polish this guy all the way up.
Yes, you're 100% right. It applies really to every player. I think where the difference between an edge rusher and a safety come into play in that conversation is, well, yeah, I can teach my safety, but he's my last line of defense. He isn't my, even Jamal Adams came out. He was a big impact player on the Jets. They still sucked ass because they couldn't get to the quarterback, and they just weren't a good defense. And you insert Kyle Hamilton. Is this a top 18 defense next year? Probably not. You give me an edge rusher that gets to the quarterback their rookie year 8.5 times and has double the amount of pressures. I think that's much more valuable to this football team.
Okay, so let's say, for instance, we're in another close game again, and Aaron Rodgers throws an 80-yard bomb. How on earth is that line going to help us?
You don't stop that, and that's
that?
like the NFL, man. It's unfortunate, but it's a passing league, and the only
Kyle
way
Hamilton
you stop
back
it is you get Aaron Rodgers' bitch ass on the floor.
Yeah, but
Joe Burrow would have won the Super Bowl and been Super Bowl MVP if Aaron Donald didn't maul his ass to the ground because Jamar Chase had beaten Jalen Ramsey by like 20 yards.
No. That's completely analogous. Joe Burrow would have won that if he had an offensive line. That's different.
Yeah, that's totally different. I think if he had a line, it's different. That line was terrible. I mean,
but I could make the argument if old BJ doesn't go down, that game is not close by that point. But
but it was.
I mean, there's a lot of ifs you could say. Theoretically, he could not get sacked, throw that pass to Chase, and then Chase drops it. Theoretically,
we can do the what if thing.
I don't really like theoreticals. I don't like the in week 3 against the Ravens when people are like, oh, if they do call that delay of game, we win. I'm like, we don't know if Lamar Jackson takes the ball, throws a 80-yard touchdown there. So I don't like theoreticals personally, at least in like that scenario. Like if this happens, then this happens. But I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
Let me let Malik get in because Malik is I call him the Michigan man, aka the Magic Man. That's his porn name. He's but he's with you, man. He want Aiden Hutchinson. What are you thinking about this? I mean, obviously Adam is on board with you. He just want the pass rush.
All right, so first, like we say in Jamaica, where someone agree with you and someone cool with you. Adam, you're my general, all right?
Saluted him up to the general.
Adam's legit, man.
Gave him the general land. All right.
So first, I want Aiden Hutchinson, but I had sent you a DM, Luke, back, but you ain't see it. But I
saw it. You said that what you call us a ball hawk, and you would take him as long as Aiden Hutchinson is not there.
Yeah, I said because today I said let me go look at some of his tape. So I looked at the tape. I was like, okay, he always there. He always at every play that scene, he was around the ball. But the only thing about the tapes though that I really don't like about tapes is that the tapes don't show you really the negative side of the player. The tape just show you the positive because that's what that's how they gonna get you. That's how they gonna sell you.
Well, that's
So-
if you watch your highlights.
Yeah, if
When-
you
so
watch
when I-
highlights, if you watch film, like pure film, that's the
Yep.
whole game, then you do get to see the negatives.
Plus-
But everyone
plus-
has negatives. Like,
plus
I'm
me-
not saying Kyle Hamilton doesn't.
I watch football games like I'm preparing for the game myself. Like I'm getting ready to go in and I got to do my job. I need to know what they're doing, who's their assets, and who can I neutralize. And that's how I watch the football. That's why I don't watch games with the volume mode. I don't want to be. I don't want these people making up fake narratives for nothing. So that's all I'm saying, Malik. I don't want
True.
that. But I will say this though. I will say that for me, if you're taking Aiden Hutchinson and he starts, I don't care. But to me, I feel like if a DN bust versus a safety, it's way worse and more detrimental to your team. Because if
And
you're
then-
taking a pass rusher, he better be a pass rusher.
True. And then see, just like what Adam said, I've been preaching the same thing to you, Luke. I've been saying we need a pass rush. We need the pass rush. We need to get after the quarterback. You were saying, how everybody was hurt, but even we still had a cut. The only person that really looked good last year was George Hurst. That was the only one, George Hurst. And
Well.
him himself, he's not a top pass rusher. So if we could get Aiden Hutchinson, and then he could turn into like a Max Crosby.
That's not good enough.
No,
People
no,
are prisoners of the moment with Aiden Hutchinson. All season, he just stood out every single game. He was getting to the quarterback, even if it wasn't a sack. He was just a problem. He was blowing up the runs. He was, in my opinion, one of the best, I would say, top 2 college football players this year.
Who was one?
One's got to be Bryce Young.
Okay. So
yeah,
you
Bryce
had Bryce
Young was
then...
the best college football player this year. I mean, it was. I know he's a quarterback, so maybe I shouldn't qualify him, but dude, that guy, the plays he made all season, even up until the national title game, that guy was not fair. The fact that the way they beat Georgia that game, in the SEC title game, that sealed up the Heisman for him.
It was an absolute cheat code. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't fair.
Malik,
I mean, that's a guy that they just couldn't stop. They couldn't, even when they got pressure to him, he would slide out of it. But beyond the point, I'm with Malik. Look, Aiden Hutchinson, I think, is the best player.
But Adam, you can't be with Malik. Is the residential biased Michigan fan. He want everybody from Michigan. Jabril
Yeah, but
Peppers.
look, I was at that Michigan game. I had some really good seats to that Michigan-Ohio State game. They don't win that game without C.J. Stroud getting pressured 15 times by one single player. Daxton Hill just kept getting beat. Like literally the whole time that game, he kept getting beat. Receivers were wide open, but you know what? They didn't get the ball because Aiden Hutchinson was getting to the quarterback.
And that's what I've been saying. Amen. Hey, my man Adam is preaching today.
Let me bring in an unbiased member.
I do have to go. I'm so sorry, Luke. I'll come back again. I promise.
100%. Adam, I appreciate it.
I just got home from work. My wife's gonna kick my ass.
Hey man, hey, be safe out there. Obviously,
Adam,
we gonna
appreciate
plug
all
it
of you.
again.
Thank you
See
so
y'all in
much.
the morning. All right, man. Look, Malik, I'm gonna bring in an unbiased person, and then I'm gonna roll in one person. This guy right here, I've been rocking with him because I still don't know how in the hell he gets so much information in the shortest videos ever. Like this dude can find a way to give you what should take 30 minutes in 5. I don't know how you do it. I'm talking about my man JEMlive. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's good, Luke G? It's been a minute.
Long time no see, man.
Wow.
Obviously, you see Adam came in here, started the damn fire, and left. He didn't give us no water. He didn't call the fire department. He started the fire and he dipped. Okay. What are your thoughts?
Gasoline and lit a fire.
I know. That was, that's the guy. I like talking with him because it gives you opportunity to have different approaches and stuff. And a lot of the stuff that a person can come out with, I'll always have the conversation with them if they can support their views. Now, for me, I think it's worse if you get a pass rusher and he busts. It's just worse. It's not something that is easy to recover from. It's just a bad move. And the other side of it is if you get the safety and he don't, but especially at Kyle Hamilton, you can move him to linebacker. It has happened every single time with Deion Buchanan. It's happened with the guy that was on the Bengals. God, what is his name? Jesus. Sean something. Dang it. I don't forget his name that quick. But it's happened with him. It's happened with Landon Collins. It's happened with the guy that was on the Rams at one point, Mark Berrien. You can always move them guys there. But when the DN busts, where do you put them? Nobody can tell
on
me
another
that.
team.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Charles Harris. Like for the Dolphins,
Incredible.
Charles Harris busted, and they sent him to Atlanta. He busted there. He comes over to us. Gets 7.5 sacks.
Right. Now it's 113 in the building. Can I get those likes up? And JEMlive, what are your thoughts? You're a Lions fan. What should the Lions do? The number 2 pick and with the number 32 pick and that second round pick. What do you think they should do, position wise or player that you have in mind? What are you thinking?
So I just hopped on. Are you on? They should go Kyle Hamilton at 2.
I am 100% go Kyle Hamilton too.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying with like in like the draft, like who is like the best overall player, like over Bryce Young. I think it's Kyle Hamilton, like at position wise, like he has everything, like so few weaknesses, like the range. He comes down in the flats. He's a really good like rat defender in like the middle of the field, really good instincts in the run game. But why I'm taking Aiden Hutchinson, and I talked about this in a video before, because if you're like arguing Thibodeau Hutchinson, I just think like player position value, D end is going to be up there with quarterback and left tackle. So you really want to get that guy. So you really do want to hit on that.
What is player positional value meaning for you?
So like you're not going to take that's why it was so weird that Kyle Pitts went in the top 5. Like it's a left tackle and a quarterback is going to be more important than a tight end. So even though Kyle Pitts might have been like the best, like overall, like position wise, like best player in the draft, like let's give a hypothetical, like that's why it was still so weird that he went so high, because the position isn't as important. Same why people really criticize Jamar Chase over Penny Sewell with the Bengals. And I didn't mind that because I thought it was like a huge need with the Bengals, but
they needed both. And they ultimately did need both. And I didn't care if they went either or. If I were them, I would have taken Sewell, but Chase still ended up being a good pick.
Yeah, I was on the record saying I really like the Chase pick, and I think it worked. And I got so much hate because in the preseason when he had all his drops, I said he was going to have a better rookie season than Justin Jefferson. Boy, did I get flamed for that. But you just see the impact, because that's like the whole offense. Like if you don't have a number 1, like that completely changes the defense. Like if you have a number 1, you have to play a too high shell. You have to bracket. Exactly. You have to have some sort of help. If the play is like, this is what we see with like Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Jamar Chase. We saw it all the time with the Bengals. One person on Jamar, that's where the ball's going. That's huge.
Absolutely.
But why I'm going, and so Luke, I'm sorry if this was already talked about. But why I'm going Hutch, if people are debating Hutch and Thibodeau, is
nobody's debating that. In fact, I flamed the shit out of Thibodeau. I said, listen, I don't know what this is. This ain't hustle. This ain't high motor. This ain't a pass rush move. I don't know what this one particularly was. I flamed Thibodeau because I said, yo, it's 3rd and freaking 18 on one of them plays. He didn't even attempt to rush the passer.
Yeah, I see him hustle on like 1 in every like 20 plays. So like,
he does B stuff when he does try, though.
He has more talent, in my opinion. He has.
Luke, I want to comment on something you said too, Luke. I want to comment on something. So, you said if Kyle Hamilton, right, flops at safety, right?
Yep.
You would put him at linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're still going to leave us with a hole at safety. When you can get the defensive end. That you know.
But I don't know that.
You don't know that, and you can't know that with any player. Any player has a chance to bust.
Exactly. And for me, I'm looking at it at this point, take the best player available. It just happened to be that the best player available for the Lions is a need too, which is the safety.
And don't get me wrong, I am not against taking Aiden Hutchinson.
I'm not neither.
I personally think Jacksonville will take them because they invested in the offensive line. So they think that is their biggest need now. But I may be wrong about that too, and trust me, it's very possible.
I want to hear JEMlive. He was going somewhere with Kayvon.
Yeah,
Oh, right. So yeah, with and Luke, I know we talked on the phone before. You were like huge on not Zaven Collins, Isaiah Simmons.
Yep.
Like whoever drafts Kyle Hamilton better be creative with him, or else he's gonna have a hard time finding the field. So but why I like Hutchinson is what the Lions are doing right now. I want someone that wants to be in Detroit, and I want someone that I think is gonna have a C on their jersey in a few years. And I think he's absolutely that guy. And watching I'm a Michigan fan as well. I don't know if you guys are as well, but as soon as Michigan went to like the Lions like 3-4 and Aiden Hutchinson went to stand up, we got to see like how smart of a player he actually was, like in the run game, because he's not hand in the dirt. You might lose some like leverage like getting off the ball, but he was able to see it, and the way he like attacked and squeezed down the line or got out to like tunnel screens or whatever, his play got so much better when he went in that stand up 3-4, and that's what the Lions do. And that's really why I like him at that spot, especially someone that wants to play in Detroit, which is not always common.
Hutchinson.
Let me answer this question. Let me answer this question really quick because I'm curious about this. Whose spot is Aiden Hutchinson taking?
Yes.
I'm saying this is a serious question. Now, and shout out to first of
That
all.
was my question. Thank you.
Let me shout out my man, First Black Man on the Net. He believed that we're taking a quarterback and that we need a quarterback of the future and that we should take a quarterback. He says y'all have no confidence in Brad Holmes to fill our needs outside of number 2. It's a dang shame. I think what it is it's not a matter of saying do you have confidence that he can fill those needs outside of 2. It's saying that where's the drop off at? Like is there a serious drop off from Aiden Hutchinson to the next? Excuse me. Is there a serious drop off from Aiden Hutchinson to the next best edge rusher? Nah, I'm hearing that Trevor Walker is that deal. I'm hearing about Quay Walker. I'm hearing about Bo Mafe. I'm hearing about George Karlaftis, who in my opinion is the best edge rusher and would be the best asset coming in too. But you have so many other people where there's no serious drop off. Now you talk about Kyle Hamilton. You can't name me one safety in this draft that can cover the whole entire field like Hamilton. There is no safety that can do that. Now I'm not knocking it. But I bring it back to you, JEMlive, and I'm not saying that you have a wrong idea. I'm not going to kill them if they take Aiden Hutchinson. But the question now becomes, at some point, whose spot does he take?
Well, I mean, where do you see his ceiling being? Because that's important. Because it doesn't matter even if you have really good defense.
Kyle Van Der Bosch.
What the hell? Okay.
Listen. I can see him. I can see him as a Kyle Van Der Bosch. I can even see him going as far as Cameron Hayward. I don't see him as a guy who's going to consistently get to the quarterback.
Yeah, I don't see him as a Bosa, a Watt.
Nope, I don't see that guy.
Even a Garrett. I don't see that.
Look at the NFC North. Look at the tackles he's going to go up against. Who is he beating?
The big farm-fed boys over in Wisconsin, and
he had a hard time with a bum. He had a hard time with some bums on other teams, and I'm like, this is not normal. So I'm just saying, whose spot is he taking? And if you look at our division right now, we've had dope defensive lines. We've had that. We've got nothing for it. Then what? That's all I'm asking. If we didn't get anything for it, then the question then turns around to what are we really doing? For real, like that's the only reason. Let's say, for example, this is any other draft with some other talent there. I have a different view. But when it came time for me to look at the evidence, to look at the proof, to me, they're taking Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, and JEMlive brought up a great point. He said, you have those certain wide receivers that require not only a corner but also a safety shadowing, just in case the corner gets beat. And I love the safety we have now that we just brought back, but I need both of those safeties to be that. I need to have confidence. Like if one of our corners get beat, God forbid one of our corners get beat, I need to know that safety is that's our security blanket. We absolutely have to address that issue. I'm tired of getting beat the Motown Miracle by Aaron Rodgers, where we had everybody back there in the end zone, and who catches it? Like a freaking 300-pound freaking linemen. It just broke my heart to see stuff like that. It breaks my heart when we get beat by these Hail Marys that if we had somebody back there with any kind of competence just to knock the ball down or pick it off, that game's over. You know, those 1 or 2 wins this year are going to matter, especially in our division. Let's say for instance we're in Green Bay again and Aaron Rodgers at the helm, it's 2 minutes left, and we can get him out with our secondary. We already know he's going to throw the ball 4 times. But if we have that secondary in tune with these coaches that we have, and Aaron Glenn and Pleasant, if we can tighten up that secondary in this pass-friendly league, then you can address those issues at line. You can address those issues at linebacker. But you have to have that secondary has to be, if not, they have to be solid. That has to be a solid core. Now, if you have a line that's solid, but you don't have a secondary that can catch or tackle, then Tyreek Hill is going to beat you all day on a screen. Like they have players that just take a screen and take off for 80 yards.
Now,
like
my man Goldback says, I'm just excited to roast Luke with Hutchinson Shine.
What?
Do it. I'm not.
I'm all for it.
First of all, we've never said Hutchinson is a bad player.
No.
We're saying
and that's
we
my
see
point.
more value in another player.
That's right.
And
I never said he was trash. I said if you're taking him, whose position is he taking? And we have a chance to get the best player in the draft. And I don't care if it's a safety. Positional draft value doesn't mean anything to me, because if you get the pick, who cares? If you look back on it, everybody likes to do stuff and act like hindsight is proof positive to stuff, but it's not. Hindsight doesn't do anything. So what? Oh, so they didn't take Trey Polamalu first overall or second overall. If they knew he was going to be that, they would have. They didn't take Ed Reed that high. If they knew he was going to be that, they would have. Hell, if the Packers knew what Barry Sanders were, they wouldn't have took the wrestling man, right? So you got all these different examples of people who know better now, because when you know better, you do better. And if I'm wrong, feel free to roast me. I don't care. Shout out to my man Analytic Den.
My question is this.
Hold on 1 second, Chris. I want to hit this comment up. He says, Luke, come on. Vander Bosch as Hutchinson's ceiling, his RAS is 9.87. His ceiling is Crosby Bosa level. His film don't say he's Crosby Bosa level. I don't see that in the film. And I love me some math bum. You can't tell me nothing about math, but I love him. But that RAS score ain't always predictive of a good player.
Also, I will say with Kyle Vander Bosch, he had solid seasons. Like he averaged 3 to 4 forced fumbles a season.
Yes.
Like he wasn't strictly a bad player.
Ooh, who just said that?
Wait. What was that? Yeah, I just saw that too.
It was Drake London. If Olave's there at 32, give me Olave.
But
over Drake London?
Yeah.
I don't want no parts of Ohio receivers. I don't want no parts of them.
Give me Olave.
I agree.
Olave's going to the Packers. So
first of all, let me just tell you something.
Packers aren't drafting receivers.
They gotta though. They gotta. They're clowns.
They gotta the last 3 years.
Well, yes, but this year they literally don't even have a receiver. They
have one under contract.
So how would y'all feel like trade the Eagles? Because how many first round picks the Eagles got this year?
They got 3. They got 15, 16, and 19.
All right, so what if we was to trade that number 2 pick for them 3, and the Eagles was willing to give us those?
Do it.
For that?
I do it. And then at that point, guess what? Go out and get me 3, 4, 5, 6 starters. I don't care. If you're telling me we're going to take Aiden Hutchinson, great. But the same way that we're doing positional value, we're doing that safeties don't do this and safety don't do that. I want that same scrutiny for Aiden Hutchinson. I want the same thing.
I actually don't mind that, because this draft class is so incredibly deep, but there's not like, Evan Neal, Icky, literally like the top whole first round is pretty much all the same letter grade prospects.
There's no that those player.
I think the top end talent of this draft is weaker than normal, but the depth goes way deeper.
That's why I don't know why anyone would trade up unless someone really was gonna want to go all in, and that's where they had to trade up to get Malik Willis if they thought someone was gonna get. Yeah.
And if you ask me, Where I was with Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn was here, right? I was all on board until I seen the wheels start to fall off. So if you was to draft Aiden Hutchinson, I would come back and be the first one to say, Luke, yeah, I was wrong, but you know, I'm all team Aiden Hutchinson right now because I seen what he can do over those 4 years and 4 or 5 years at Michigan. I seen what he could do, you know. So that's why I believe in him.
But in 4 or 5 years, he's had one good season. Let me bring my man Ghost Gunner in really quick. Gunner been waiting so patiently.
No,
Gunner,
I see you pull me in, then I just didn't say nothing.
I was trying to figure out who had the echo, and it was coming off of your mic. I do not know why.
Nah, that's cat.
I'm serious.
Nah, you lying. I don't know what you heard, but it wasn't me.
I'm like, why? And it felt like you had a fan on. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm like, what does that sound?
I got fans on, but you ain't hearing them.
I swear.
I hear the fan. Do anybody hear the fan? Am I tripping?
I hear the fan.
It might be me. I'll keep myself muted.
Okay. I'm like, it seemed like it stopped when I took you out. So if I'm wrong, my apologies.
Yeah, my computer has 7 fans in it, and they're all very loud.
Oh, God.
Ooh, you got yourself a rig there.
7. What the hell is
my fans in my computer don't make that kind of noise.
I mean, right? You got a
they're
goddamn
old ass fans.
Let me
I've had it
ask
for
this
a while.
question on this.
Go ahead, Gunner.
How banged up is our edge?
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. Give me, Chris. You want to answer this question? Go ahead.
My question is this: can we really judge our edge rushers last year? How banged up was our edge rusher core last year? Romeo was out. Trey was out. We just got Harrison and the last part of the season. We don't know what Harris is going to turn into. And all we had was Austin Bryant. Then we had Julian Overlord.
Yeah.
Levi was also still fighting injury.
Exactly. So
guys,
how much of a need is edge for us, really?
I believe a couple of those guys are interchangeable. You can play them at edge. I believe I believe a couple of those guys can be converted to solid edge rushers.
Derek Barnes. He could be an
Absolutely.
edge rusher. Absolutely.
I hope we move Derek Barnes to outside linebacker
because he needs more. He's a pivotal force, man. He didn't go to a small school. He was a dog, man. He's. Oh my gosh!
Let me do this. Like I said, I think you bring up a good point. I know that people are going to have different opinions. And again, it's about having open dialogue and conversation that we can just enjoy the time to do it. Now, I do want to, because I haven't seen my man JEMlive, because JEMlive kind of moved a few times on me.
Jim is on point, man.
He living his best life. He's got the sun going on. Let me ask you a question. Obviously, if the Lions take Aiden Hutchinson at 2, who do you want at 32, Jim?
Oh, I want a wide receiver. I feel like there's going to be like one that's going to be out there like we talked about, because I think it's like time. Like I think there's going to be places later on. Like I really like where our line's at, like where our running back's at. If we get like some if we got Aiden Hutchinson, I like where our D line's at. And it's time to give Goss some weapons. We did a video on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Love him. Time to pair him up with a number 1 so you can really like work him in the slot and like give him those nice matchups with Hawkinsocks. So I'm taking a receiver if Olave is there, if Drake London's there. But if it's gonna be like, I don't know, if it's not gonna be a number 1, I'll wait till like the 3rd round, and then maybe not to throw out another Michigan guy, but if you did want to put Daxton Hill at kind of like a hybrid like slot corner safety, I think you could absolutely do that.
Well, shout out to my man Curt Steele from Lions on the Prowl. I'm also part of my DSA family. Shout out to you.
Steele.
Joey 2 times says, watch the film. It's the answer when someone wants to trust their gut over objective analysis. It's because now I don't think he's going to shot at me or anybody, but I think that watching the film, not highlights, not highlights where they took in all the best plays and put them together, but watching every snap that player do. And find the good and the bad and the ugly. I can do videos on all these people. I've done these videos on all these people. I'm just exhausted with showing people step by step what's wrong with these people, only to have those same people just change their damn name when they're wrong. Okay. And that's the problem. I had so many thumbs down on the Okuda video, and all them people changed their damn names. Some of their accounts was disactivated when I went to respond. So how was your take, agent? So for me, the energy of taking it and saying, look, here's the film, don't make sense. I'll let somebody who plays this game at the professional level tell you about the film. I don't think he's going with his gut.
This past week. I mean, I just, 90% of it is tape. 90% of what they evaluate, 90% of who they're picking and what's going into that is tape.
That's not my words. That's the NFL cornerback, Richard Sherman. It's film. And if I'm watching something on film, I can only go by that tape. Could I be wrong? Yes. I could be. But at the end of the day, I feel pretty good at how I'm looking at people. That's all I'm saying. Gunner, what you got for me, man?
I wanted to go back to what's worse if who busts at 2, Kyle Hamilton or Aiden.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you bust at 2. You bust at 2. Like you're screwing up the second overall pick. It don't matter which one you take. It's both. You're getting a bad player regardless.
And that's true. And that's why that's something that William brought up. Where William said, "Look, if you bust, a bust is a bust." I remember this old brain teaser thing where they just say, "What is heavier, a pound of bricks or a pound of feathers?" And people will always go, "Clearly, a pound of bricks," but they don't realize this. A pound is a freaking pound. So a bust is a bust. Rather you get it, but to me, I think there's implications further down the road that is worse if you miss on a DN or you miss on a quarterback. They're worse.
And I like the point you brought up earlier, Luke, about as far as, okay, so Hutchinson plays DN. Where then can you move him? Like, if he busts, where then can you move him?
Jim?
Whereas Hamilton, if let's say he fails at safety, but for some reason he's a Will Harris and he succeeds at corner, or he succeeds at linebacker. I mean, that we want a guy like that. We want a Swiss Army knife back there. So JEMlive, I'd like to hear your take on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question one more time? I'm so sorry.
So if Hutchinson busts as far as the defensive end, where then can you move him? Where then what more can you do with him at that point?
Oh, no, you just have to take it. But I think that's what I'm saying, like positional value. Like if he hits, that's the guy for the next 10 years. And that's why I think D-line is going to be more important than secondary, because like it is double-edged. I was reading that comment earlier that like a good secondary can make your D-line look good, vice versa. But why because I think quarterbacks are getting so good and the windows are getting this small that if your D-line isn't getting there, they're still going to be able to pick you apart. And I mean, the best corners in the world can't cover for over like 4 or 5 seconds. It's just not going to happen, especially not all 4 or 5 of them on routes. But if you have like a good edge rusher and you hit on him, that is huge, because let's say you don't get the sack, you're altering the throw of the quarterback. Whereas like if you don't have the good O-line, your defense is eventually going to give up in the backfield. That's where we see all these like crazy plays with the quarterbacks thinking get outside the pocket, extend, and like make these throws downfield. Like if the rush isn't getting there, it doesn't matter. Jalen Ramsey can't hold up for 5-6 seconds.
Yeah, but
if you do bust, like that's what, like if that's the question you're asking, if you bust,
right,
like that's it. Like trade him away and cut your losses. But it's so important to get that guy. And if they do think he's that guy, then that's why like you have to take him.
Yeah, and I don't have anything to get touched, but again, Burrow got sacked 9 times in a against a Tennessee team, and they still managed to win that game. He still managed to put the team on his back.
That's
he
true.
Still managed to.
And on top of that, the opposing quarterback threw 3 interceptions in that game. So when Adam said that, I kind of took a little bit of I was kind of disappointed by that when Adam said that interceptions aren't as
they're huge. They're momentum swings.
I'm like,
listen,
we had a game this year that disproves that theory.
Yeah, and I was going to get to it, but I completely just lost track and didn't get around to it. Now
I almost said it and then didn't.
I want to point out something, people, because I'm always trying to figure out something. This is homework, basically. Y'all can do it real quick right now. Just Google it. Last season, what team led the league in sacks? Anybody know that answer?
Was it the
what
Bears?
team led the league in sacks last year?
I
just want y'all to look it up.
I don't know who led the most sack, but the guy who got sacked most time made it to the Super Bowl.
No.
I know you're talking about though. I know you're talking about the Bears.
I want to know what team led the league in sacks. Y'all can Google it. It's a very popular thing to Google. Just look it up. Take your time and look at it.
Oh wait,
I want to know who's number one. Who's number one? Wolf and record.
Wow.
I can believe it.
Barely over 500.
There's not a single stat that allows you to instantly win.
I'm just saying,
Like,
just think.
Even interceptions, the Dallas Cowboys had 26.
Listen, stay with me. Stay with me, though. Stay with me.
The Vikings.
If you go through and you look at the team that led the league in sacks, how did they do in the playoffs?
Lost first round.
And pretty handily, too.
Team with the second most didn't make the playoffs. Third most team won the Super Bowl.
The team with the second most was who, though? Who's the team with the second most?
The Vikings.
Yeah. How they do in the playoffs?
Oh, yeah.
They didn't go.
They did all right.
Now,
What about the third most?
The third most
Won
won
the
the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. So
But guess what? The third one won the Super Bowl when they was able to have that kind of pressure. They also had 15 forced fumbles and 19 interceptions. But we just talking about this idea of getting it, because what I'm trying to get people to understand is if you were to go through, you're not going to tell me that 51 of those sacks came from Aaron Donald. How many came from Aaron Donald? Like 12? 12 and a half?
I think he had like 12 and a half or 13.
Come on now.
14.
Come on. That's this. When you look at the teams, the top, you go to the list. Pittsburgh. Matter of fact, I could probably show you, but Pittsburgh, Minnesota, the Rams, the Bears, they did good in the playoffs. The 49ers, the Dolphins, the Bucks, the Saints. I want y'all to understand. And if I were to go through and say, okay, who led the league in interceptions? The Dallas Cowboys, who had 41 sacks, 26 interceptions, 5 of those went for touchdowns, 13 forced fumbles. This is why they want to fire Mike McCarthy. Because the defense performed. It got the ball back to the offense.
Yep.
And the point I'm making is when you can get the ball back to your offense, it's a different beast. New England Patriots was the second team in interceptions. They had 36 total sacks. And it's just this is just one sample size. So what this whole idea is, we're not getting to the quarterback and all. We had guys hurt. And it's not fair to act as if though we were so ran down and so trash because it didn't get to. They was out the game. They wasn't playing. Now the team that led the league in sacks didn't do dilly squat. The number 2 team didn't do dilly squat. There needs to be a compliment to what you're doing on defense. So yeah, you can get all the pass rush you want. You can go and look at all the quarterback hits you want, all the pressure points you want. You can live and die inside of Pro Football Focus. But when you get to the bottom of it, this is a team sport. And you have to look at this team and say, hey, I got an opportunity to change the fortunes of my side of the ball. Because the one thing that I didn't ask you is, go and look at the top 5 teams in points given up. And I guarantee you won't find that the problem was sacks. You won't find that to be the issue. And that's the only thing I'm trying to point out to people. We got to stop getting caught up in useless, unnecessary stats that don't help us.
Speaking of positional
you're
value,
so good. You're so good.
Hey, Luke, I just wanted to say,
You're good at what you do, man. I'm like, I'm ready.
You convinced him already.
Speaking of-
him already.
hey, Luke, I just want to say this. Thanks for having me on your show. I love all of y'all.
Appreciate you, man. Love you
The
too.
league.
Have a good one.
I don't give.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of y'all night.
You too,
So it's
sir.
fun hearing you, Malik. What's up?
But remember back in 2019 when we were talking about positional value with TJ Hawkinson? Remember, this is like the original before Akuda and how high we all were on Hawkinson. The question I have is, would anybody change their pick from Hawkinson from the last year in 2019? I don't
Jeffrey
think they would.
Simmons. I banged the drum for Jeffrey Simmons that year. I didn't care he was hurt. He was going to be a top 5 pick, tore his ACL in the offseason.
Oh yeah, the guy that went to the one that went to the Titans. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted him because he
But,
dropped out of the top 5 only because he got hurt. We wouldn't get that opportunity like that. So
That was the year of Ed Oliver and everything. And
every Lion fan wanted Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver, he's doing so great. That's going to be Trayvon Walker all
would
over
any of you
again.
change your pick? Would any of you change it from Hawk? I think
No.
Not me. Not me.
No.
I'd have to look at everyone that's
yeah, I would
available.
take Jeffrey Simmons.
Listen, if Jeffrey
That's
Simmons
the
was
guy I
healthy,
want.
if Jeffrey Simmons was healthy, I would have took him too. I liked the Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
But for me, I knew that they were taking a tight end based on how they was moving. So Tactical Puma says, then why was it so important to draft Sewell, Luke? It was important to draft the tackle because it did 3 things. 1, it completed a positional group. You actually complete your offensive line, and that problem is solved. 2, the tackle was young, and the way the NFL is going, they are for some reason running more and more longer routes. As you heard already from William, you can play that dink and dunk game, you're going to die by it, okay? You're going to set yourself up for failure with the dink and dunk, okay? It's not going to work. And 3, I knew that by taking that tackle and completing that offensive line, we were going to be able to run the ball, and that's what I want to get back to. That's why it was important to take the tackle, because you need to get it. Now, when you talk about positional value, and obviously, Adam would be like, oh, he's still a tackle, but it's a right tackle, and we took him at 7? If it works, it works. And I don't care. Nobody's going to complain when it works. Only when it's not working will you complain. And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, we knew he was a generational talent. We knew this guy was he's a moving, he's a beast. He's a mauler. And yeah, why not? Why not take him? Why not take that guy who we know is going to instantly start? And he did. And then we asked him to move to a different side of the field. And he did. He didn't gripe about it. There was no pushback from him moving it. He just wanted to play ball. And I applaud them for taking that pick, and I applaud him for, when his name was called, he showed up. He showed up. I applaud that.
And ultimately, with Sewell, it was a guy that they were in love with. They loved him as a player.
Oh yeah.
And if that's what they think Aiden Hutchinson is, by all means, great.
Yeah, I agree.
He was best player available, like Hamilton, basically.
If they don't think that he is a player that fits their style, their mold, then don't force it. Don't force the pick, because that's what everyone thinks you should pick.
Please do not force.
Oh God, no, not Okuda again. That was forced.
Okuda was a supposed job-saving pick, and it was the worst job-saving pick ever.
All the analysts were saying Okuda was a shutdown corner.
It
was almost universal across analysts that he was a shutdown corner. Even guys like Brett Coleman were having us take him.
And listen, can I point this out really quick? First of all, shout out to the people in the chat, man. Y'all are all welcome to join this show at any point in time. This is an open forum. I don't keep the show from anybody. You can come in here, tell me to fuck off and hang up. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it ain't gonna go in your favor, but I want to have respectful conversation that's different. I want to point something out to people, because sometimes I believe that y'all will believe it when people who are actually doing it at that level believe in it. But since I'm on Richard Sherman, I'll let him point out something. They're asking Richard Sherman a question about what do Seattle do, and I want y'all to just pay attention to this small insert of him.
It depends on how the offseason goes. I don't think you panic yet. If you get to August and your roster still looks the same, and you get a little worried. You're in a rebuild. This is not a team that is set up to win a championship. However, this is not that time. Now, the way Rashad Penny ended the season, over 150 yards in last 5 games, that's Seattle's identity. Control the clock, run the football, control the clock. That makes for great defense.
Richard, one more time for the people. I know people don't like, they hard of hearing. What makes for great defense, Richard? And people don't like you because you talk too much. But damn it, let's see what you say.
This is not that time. Now, the way Rashad Penny ended the season, over 150 yards in last 5 games, that's Seattle's identity. Control the clock, run the football, control the clock. That makes for great defense. So then your defense is on the field less. You're extending drives. Your defense is well rested. That makes for good defense. So I think Pete will go back to his philosophy, go back to what he knows. Hey, run the football, play great defense.
This is all I'm asking Detroit to fucking do. Can I get Detroit to do this? I'm not asking for them to do nothing special. I'm not asking for them to reinvent the wheel. I'm asking for them to run the ball, Take the ball out of the hand of the quarterback and play good defense. Well, Luke, you got to be able to pass rush. You know what's easy about pass rush? When you get the score up and the clock is ticking away and you've made them one-dimensional. You want to see how Matthew Stafford can take a beating over and over? Go and tell me how many games they controlled the time of possession where he had a chance to just hand the ball off without getting beat up. This is what the problem is. You want to talk about how important the run game is to the defense? Go and talk to the Bengals, who allowed their quarterback to take a beat down from a bunch of gang members and thugs because they couldn't keep him upright and refused to give the ball to Joe Mixon. I'm just asking them to simply run the ball and play good defense. And whether you know it or not, you can go out and add other pieces who will be of significance. But if you go out and get Aiden Hudson, if you go out and get Thibodeau, you go out and get Malik Willis, and they bust,
I can really
you're
call
gonna
it
be
Kuda.
sick.
Oh, you know
really
what would help that vision?
What's that?
Malik Willis. You want a runner?
You know,
if we drafted him to be our quarter or a running back, maybe.
I want running backs, not a runner. Okay, if I wanted a runner, I'll trade for Lamar Jackson. Y'all go listen.
I love Malik Willis.
Man, the last time I heard a coach say that he's not ready, you know who it was? His name was Deshawn Kaiser. You want to know how that worked out?
Gonna play
JEMlive, let me hear you. You were going to say something.
You know, what I've been thinking, because we see the Ravens do it, we see New England do it, we see the 49ers do it. I think literally in the 7th round, might not even have to draft them. If you guys watched any Big Ten football, Xander Horvath, the running back out of Purdue, I think he could be like a next Kyle Juszczyk, like 6'3".
He's got some talent, yes.
6'3", 235, catch the ball out of the backfield, lead blocking. Like the fact that we don't have like a fullback, like I wish we would just like take like the 49ers offense, because that's like what Goff can do. Like we have a good offensive line, and you pretty much have like a pulling guard that can also catch the ball. Like I think the fullback needs to be used a lot more, especially for a team like where the Lions are at right now. And I actually have to head out soon, but I want to hear what y'all think.
Go, man. Listen, if they're taking another running back, I'm cool with it, because to me, I would rather. I like Jamal Williams. Don't get me wrong. I like Jamal Williams, but my nerves were dying slowly every time they started him. I needed a compliment to Swift that can be a change of pace, and I think we got that in Craig Reynolds.
Not a running back, a fullback.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's a fullback. Yeah, 6'3", 240. He would be like the H back. And fullback, so not running back.
Right. The only issue is we re-signed Jason Kabinda for 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, but
you wouldn't even need this guy isn't even projected to be drafted right now.
No, but that's the beauty about Holmes. That's the beauty about Holmes. He like what you just hit on, that he's not even really being sought out like that. So that's a good point.
Holmes found 2 pretty solid talents in the undrafted free agency.
Yeah.
I trust he can do that again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ricky Bobby says that kills your Hamilton theory. Safeties are not primary in stopping the run.
May I say something about this?
This guy is
finding safeties who can run the alley is insane. Buda Baker running from 15 yards deep and being able to stop a run for 5 yards.
Cam Chancellor Troy,
unbelievable.
Benny Blaze, bro.
Is he run fits?
Did he just start watching football or what? Hamilton is 6'4", 220. And he lived in the backfield. Let's be honest. He lived in the backfield.
Shake and bake.
I appreciate it, Jim. Right. I know you got to get up out of here, man. Peace.
Yeah, man. Nice chatting with you, man.
Keep in touch, man.
Lyles Rumble. Nice.
Hey, man. I gotta go. I gotta go check your channel out, man.
100%.
It's linked in the description. You can go in there right now. It's linked in the description. It stays on there. Shout out to you, sir. Go back says, laugh my butt off. Mobby was here. He would laugh his ass off at Destroy Luke. Okay. If you believe that.
Yeah,
Mobby's a joke.
I'm listen.
Sorry. I've watched Mobby. He sits there and explodes at halftime and can't accurately tell me why we fucked up at halftime. He just said we losing.
I don't even want the energy. I can care less. I don't even want the energy. I can care less. If he believes that somebody will clown me, I'm always open to the challenge. Get them to come on here and clown. Okay,
But
but the reality is,
Tavon
this: I support my answers with proof, and I can make the video to show you, but I just don't have the energy to do it because 9 times out of 10, most of the people who watch those videos, and even though I break them down literally by the good, the bad, the ugly, so you can kind of see like the good. This is what they're really good at. The bad, these are things they got to work on. And ugly, this is unexplainable, unacceptable, and should not happen. And I'm fair about my assessments of them. And if you think somebody can do a better job, hey, support to you, sir. I'm never gonna shoot nobody down. Shout out to my man Easy from SpeakEZ Sports. What up, though?
Luke, I'm gonna be honest with Mobby. I had about 5 tweets towards him in one conversation where they're all supported with facts, and then he blocked me.
Same. Did the same thing to me.
Yeah, he a fake tough guy. he don't want
can't
no
take criticism.
So Ricky Bobby, I got this one, Luke. Y'all are dumb. Do you know what a primary means? A good safety does not count. Why doesn't he count? Why doesn't he count? If you have a great safety back there in the secondary, you have to game plan against him. You have to fool this guy. If you have a guy back there in that secondary that is a true blue chip player who can cover your tight end, he's 6'4". What are tight ends going for now? He's 6'4", 220. You also have a guy who can crash the line with such velocity that running backs don't even know what hit him. They honestly don't know what hit. Oh, was that a linebacker or was that a safety? I mean, this guy does a lot for your team.
Does he not know what Quandre Diggs?
Does he not know
what
who
he used to do to
Benny
QB?
Blades was? Does he not know who Cam Chancellor was? This guy was a thumper, and he hit everybody. He hit his own teammates. This guy hit his own teammates and knocked him out of the game. And all he could do was smack him. My bad, dog. Man, you know how I come in the hole, man. My bad, dog. But you need a guy back there who's going to dislodge the ball from these prissy wide receivers who are just, sometimes you need somebody back there to lay the lumber, man, to send a message. You come across that middle, we got some for you. You go deep, we got some for you.
Shout out to Old Timer Dave. He is a Packer fan, but he has been rocking with me for the longest. One of the coolest people you're going to ever find around here, man. He says, Luke G, why are y'all acting like one player is going to make you a Super Bowl contender? Since when does one player make a team? And this is the point that I be trying to make to people. It's not about if one player is going to make the team, Old Timer Dave. My point I'm trying to make is this. You have to draft somebody who is going to come in and, 1, be a starter, and 2, have instant impact. I mean, they come in and have an instant impact right out the gate. They're wrecking stuff and they're doing it. And at the end of the day, I don't see certain people, aka Thibodeau or Trevor Walker or Aiden Hutchinson, those guys having this super impact. I feel like with Aiden Hutchinson, he's a good player, but I also understand that you can go out and have the best pass rush as a team. That doesn't mean that you're going to be able to. That doesn't mean that you're going to be able to still cover things that's been an issue for us. I happened to be at a game where the Lions went against the Green Bay Packers, and he threw a Hail Mary in the end zone that I was sitting in front row seat of, and it wasn't a single freaking DB that I can think of in position to stop it. And that trend continued for years on after that, and that's my issue.
Yeah, you have to go back that far in history. Remember Lamar Jackson? Remember Lamar Jackson completed a pass on 4th and 19? That pissed me off. Watching Bobby Price get cooked when we had like 8 guys in coverage. I'm like, what are we doing?
Now, Tactical Puma says...
I want to respond to this one.
Which one? This?
This one. That the safeties will take time by week 4. Before week 6, how many people in the Lions community were like, we screwed up because we took Sewell? Before week 6. Sewell was not
we're the most
favorably.
knee-jerk fans ever.
Like, people were not viewing Sewell favorably. And then week 6 onward, he was by PFF considered like one of the top 3 to 4 dart
I think he was the number 2
left or right in the league.
His PFF definitely his score definitely went up.
Even if you don't like PFF,
right?
He even if he at the top 2 of PFF, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, he's still top 16.
And first of all, Tactical Puma, man, you know I rock with you, bro. I thought Sue was playing well as well, but I'm not finna sit up here and be like, oh, it takes time. I told people when they was trying to come to me and want to tell me about what Isaiah Simmons was doing, I'm like, y'all realize they're not putting him in, right? Like he's not a real starter.
They weren't playing him.
And they wasn't playing him. And then when they finally played him, I didn't have nobody come to my house. You seen Isaiah Simmons? No, where were y'all at? See, I think what happens is this. People think I don't admit things. I'll admit if I'm wrong. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to sugarcoat what it is. If he sucks, he sucks. I'll be the first to tell you I'm disappointed and I'm upset about it.
And to add to that, Luke, again, I keep bringing this point up. I know it's beating a dead horse, but what did we do with Will Harris? What did our coaches do with Will Harris? What did Glenn and Aubrey Pleasant do with Will Harris? Hey, we have a spot for you on this team. We have a spot for you on this team. Maybe you're not the greatest safety, but damn it, we're going to turn you in a corner. We're going to.
Good.
We are going to.
Corner next year.
Oh my gosh! Like Okuda's down. Hey, we need help with corner. Hey, you know what? Will's got the hips. We can do some with Will. We can do some with
Aubrey Pleasant, man. Aubrey Pleasant.
Right. Let me hit on a few more questions and then we can get up. I want to be fair. Wheezy D 313 says I don't know what the topic is, but Sauce Gardner needs to go number 2. Thoughts? No. Listen, cornerback is one of the hardest, if not the hardest position to transition to.
Cornerback, linebacker, quarterback.
You cannot come in and decide to just take a corner number 2. If you're taking the corner number 2, he needs to be 100% shutdown. And I like Sauce Gardner. I think he got the height, the measurables, and I know people are like he's 13 yards and all this other stuff, but the reality is this: if you're taking him and you're telling me you're replacing somebody else, why are you doing this? If they this makes no sense to me. At 2, a corner, no. I'm taking the guy that has more. He has more options to help the team out, and that's just the way it is. He never said Will Harris is good. He said Will Harris moved from safety to corner and played decent. You hard of hearing.
We said Will Harris was better. Better does not mean good.
I don't even understand.
He filled a void that allowed us to let Okuda rest. But believe it or not, I mean, if your coaching staff is doing things like that with the men that are already on this team, that says something A about your coaching staff and B about the players. Who wants to get right? Who wants to move from position? Oh man, I'd never played corner, but no, we believe in you. We're going to give you the tools, and it worked. It worked.
It did. It really did.
All right. So look, we've been on for 2 hours. A brother got to get out of here. First of all, let me shout out to all the people who came in. Malik, JEMlive. You go check out his channel. It is linked in the description. Adam from Woodward Sports Network. I'm going to have to get him back on because I think, and I told myself this, and I'm pretty sure I told. I also told my homie Rumble that Friday was the last day I'm talking about the number 2 pick. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
I'm done talking about the number 2 pick. I pray to God that whoever you want, if you want Malik Willis, I pray to God they take him at number 2. If you want Trayvon Walker, I pray to God they take him at number 2. If you want an offensive lineman to take him from tackle to put the guard, don't know why, but I swear to God, I hope they take who you want. Whoever you want, I'm going to have a show for you to put in your final pick on who you want, and I'm going to hold you accountable. Do not, I repeat, do not change your names. You're gonna take the heat, okay? You're gonna take the heat. Again. Don't change nothing. Keep it the same. What void did he fill? Will was a no-show, my baby. What?
We had a bunch of injuries at corner. What are you talking about? What were you watching?
Yeah, like every corner on our roster was injured at the time.
AJ Parker hurt. Jacob got hurt. If he was hurt most of the year, like what are you talking about?
Exactly.
AJ Parker, I think, was hurt at that time too.
Amanio got hurt. Like, what are you talking about?
Man.
Really fast, we'll go through. I ask everybody this question real quick. Give me your answer really quick. Jay Third says, who do you want at 2? I want Kyle Hamilton. Who do you want, Rumble?
I say Kyle Hamilton as well.
Who do you want, William?
Malik Willis.
Who do you want, Ghost Gunner?
Hope and prayer.
give me a name. Give me a player.
Jesus.
Give me a player.
Jesus.
I cannot believe he's
I'll
going to do
sign
that.
Jesus.
Let's take Nephi Sewell, number 2 overall. Let's take Sewell's little brother.
Wow.
If that's how you feel.
I'm playing.
He's a
Yeah.
linebacker. That's the need.
That's pretty high. Yeah, that is definitely a need.
I think we are going to try to take him though at some point in the draft, but no,
I do too. I've mocked him in a lot of drafts.
I agree.
And then we're going to take his other brother next year.
Give me your player, Gunner.
I said Hamilton. I'm cool, Hamilton.
Okay, Hamilton.
So come on.
Who do you want, Crimson Shadow?
Either Hamilton and George Kalafdis. That's about it.
All right, and Sky Guy, my residential keep a man in check. Who do you want?
I'm all for Hamilton.
All right. I plan on stopping by. We're going to the final thoughts. Give the people your final thoughts of the day. Ghost Gunner.
Oh, I don't got a ball today either.
That is true. This is true.
I ain't got that either though. Yeah, I ain't got nothing.
I ain't mad at you. I plan on going over there to support my brother Dan, man. Dan is, especially when you're doing your betting thing, he's out there for you. My God! Oh my God! These Hamilton clowns were cracking. Okay,
I am going to try to go to the draft this year. I am going to try to represent the Pride out here in 702. So definitely.
Whatever, dude.
Now,
I'll
stay with me.
by the Hamilton pick, and if it ends up being wrong, I'll do something on stream that's incredibly embarrassing. Okay. I'll put on a maid costume on stream. How's that?
No.
I'm so confident. I'm so confident in my view on what I see with my eyes. I'm not even stressed. But what's your final thoughts for the show, Cranston?
My final thoughts on this show. Well, really, I see no clear-cut number 2. Really, it doesn't really matter to me who we pick. I just trust Holmes. That's just how it's going to have to be. I trust Holmes and the decision he makes with this team. He trusts his guys, and I trust what he's done in free agency. He wants to build a team that knows his system and gels well together. I absolutely understand what he's doing, and I agree wholeheartedly with it.
Go back. He says Crimson Shadow's a clown and a scrub. He said George Karlaftis is the best defensive end in this draft. And you want to take me to the bank on that? I'll bring you on anytime that you want.
Yet I'm the one that
No, he's saying that you crazy for saying taking him at 2, but I'm telling you, when I tell you that George Karlaftis is the best DN in this draft,
he is.
I guarantee you don't want to come on here. I'll put you on. You can keep your face off the screen and everything. We'll bring the film up, and I will show you piece by piece why he's so special.
The guy is smart. You guys
smart.
Okay, so
pass rush moves.
The whole thing that we keep that these guys are just watching tape and they're seeing, oh, this guy can push him over. Okay, what happens when he can't push somebody over? You have to be smart about this. What happens when he doesn't know what direction the play is going? What happens when he picks the wrong gap? What happens when he doesn't these things that you cannot measure? These things that you cannot always see them on film. But some players just know where the ball is going to go, and he's one of those guys.
All right, final thoughts for the show, Sky Guy.
Hey, with the free agency coming around, people just be kind to each other.
Yeah, listen,
no reason to be an ass to people.
I know, man.
Lions fans are. Oh yeah,
it's everywhere though. It really is.
Yeah, it's just it's the ability to do this behind the screen. That's what it is. But it's cool.
We put ourselves as a target on our back.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. William, I get excited when you come on because I know that you've dug deep
in the crates.
Deep, yeah,
William, boy.
And I don't know if you saw this yet or not, William. But have you went to the QB school? JT O'Sullivan's channel.
Oh yeah, I've seen
you seen his review of Malik Willis, right?
Mm-mm.
He put 5 of them up there. He took 5 games and broke them down. You might want to check those out.
Mm-hmm.
But give me your final thoughts, sir.
Oh yeah, if JT O'Sullivan disagrees with me about Malik Willis, he ain't worth listening to.
Atta baby,
Shout out to the QB school, man. Shout out to the QB school. I love that channel.
For real. He do really good work. Really good work. But I'm listen, y'all in the comment section, chill a bit. go back. Like, dog, I can tell you watch Mobby because you're just toxic. Like, chill out. Like, we're here for a good time. Like, don't mind getting heated. Like, I know when Luke says Brandon Smith is a good prospect, my blood boils. But I can be civil with Luke still, you know.
Yeah, we're not always going to agree, and that's the thing of beauty about this platform right here.
I do like Brandon Smith.
Yes, you do like Brandon Smith. Yeah, there's
Chad
nothing wrong
Muma
with
People are
that.
allowed to have different opinions.
I would love to have Chad Muma or Brandon Smith.
Yeah,
I love Muma personally. I also like Smith.
Chad Muma?
Yeah.
Brandon Smith.
the disrespect, bro. The
What did you
disrespect.
say Muma looked like? Was it right or wrong? You said
He
he
did
looked
like right or wrong, bro. Like
You
with
do
muscles.
look a bit like RachelMarieSports.
With muscles.
Wait, you know what? I will say, if we do take Brandon Smith, he will be an excellent pick for the Michigan Panthers.
Oh,
wow.
Jeff Fisher, are you listening? Jeff Fisher, are you listening?
Listen, I'm gonna let you have that one. I gotta go, but I'm gonna let you have that one.
Man. Oh my
Lions
God.
Rumble 81. My man Rumble, let it roll, brother. Give him the final thoughts.
Final thoughts, man. What a great week. What a great free agency period, regardless of who your team is. What a great time to be a Lions fan. Again, we have this canvas that we don't know what it's going to look like. We just have to give, we still have some pro days. We still have the draft. But with all that being said, I love everyone's opinion, and I love looking at everyone's mock drafts and just what they do as far as playing GM. But yeah, like you guys have all been saying, man, regardless of who you like or don't like, let's have fun and let's be patient with this whole thing, and let's enjoy it. Let's sit back and enjoy the ride. Remember to keep all hands and feet inside the ride at all times, though.
All right, appreciate it, man. Again, to everybody who came in the chat, Ricky Bobby, you too. Everybody, go back and everybody who came in the chat, who came and showed love. Appreciate you so much. My man Adams came through. I'm sure he'll be back, man. I love having conversations with people who can talk sports, man. It's something that really is therapeutic for me, and I appreciate it. Today's positive quote comes from me. It's called, "Your character will show by the words you use." I'm going to repeat it again. Your character will show by the words you use. Before you open your mouth up and let a person know who you truly are, take a second to take a breath. Hold that breath in if you have to, but remember that whatever you say, let that word come out with something that defines your character. Let those words come out with something that opens the eyes of a person around you. It don't take much to lift a person up. It simply takes you to use the right things to show them who you really are. Now, for the other side of it, when someone shows you who they really are, believe them, because their character is always going to be the thing that comes out their mouth. If you are spewing negativity and saying disgusting things, then chances is your character might be called into question. But if you can find a way, any way possible, to just simply say something, whether it be an agreement, disagreement, or whether it just be that you agree to disagree, but you can do it respectfully, the level in your character will show your level of integrity. So before you decide to say something, before you decide to open your mouth up and show the world who you truly are, please stop and think about it. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. We try to do this as much as possible. Again, it's an open forum. Second, Tactical Puma says that he wants to come on but does not have a good camera or mic. You do not need a good mic. You simply just need a mic, whether that be your Bluetooth headset. I see people in here with video game headsets on and everything else. And if you really want to get on here and you want to do the YouTube thing, you can buy a regular microphone for as cheap as $20, and it will work.
Yeah, I mean,
Heck, your smartphone even.
I bought
Maybe
a
link in the
smartphone
description. Yeah.
$30, and it was a pretty good deal. And I'd say I sound pretty all right with it.
Yep. So please come on. I want y'all to come on. I want y'all to speak y'all truth. I want y'all to tell me I'm crazy. You don't see me losing my crap when somebody do it, but I will defend my point, and I will let you defend your point, and we have fun with it. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please don't be no chump. Please do your research. We out.